Oh, welcome and what's up? It's Adam's Arms. It's Tuesday. It's 10:30. It can mean only one thing. Spurs are getting battered everywhere they go. Could this be the season? I mean, I don't know about you, but obviously I care more about Arsenal winning the league than I do about Spurs getting relegated. But it's close. It's a close thing. I don't know if Thomas Frank's getting sacked tonight. I don't know if he's getting sacked as we speak. I don't know if it could happen right now. But I do know this. Spurs get battered everywhere they go, even if they don't go. God, how frustrating, though, that Benjamin Šeško, with an absolutely sublime finish, keeps West Ham from closing the gap really close. It's getting close and interesting at the bottom. I would love to see West Ham stay up, Tottenham go down. But that's not all we have to talk about. We also have to talk about the media, the fans. People, they're trying to sell us snake oil, people. They want us to believe that Manchester City are looming large, that they are resurgent, that they've woken up, that they are going to win 10 in a row. Never mind that in the last 10 games, they only won 5 of them. But in the next 10, they're going to win all of them. And, maybe they will do. But the other story, of course, is that Arsenal are not the same side that everybody's expecting to lose their courage. Or are we? I don't know. It's up to you. But we're gonna enjoy tonight, I think largely because of Tottenham getting battered everywhere they go. I have a song for the occasion ready. It's been one of the reasons I was a couple of minutes late. I know some of you are very big on punctuality when it comes to me being a minute late, but we're in such a good mood, aren't we? Top of the table, 6 points clear. And at the bottom, well, Tottenham very, very close. I mean, actually looking ahead, we will look ahead to some of Tottenham's fixtures. Where do you see them picking up points? Because you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not tempting fate. I'm not going to be the one to say it. But their next Premier League game is against us. And even though it's at 3 Point Lane or Beyonce Park or whatever the hell that place is called, if they ever deign to name it, we are going to batter them, aren't we? I'm going to have some chest about it. Anyway, before we do that, compose yourselves with a little musical interlude. It is the Tuesday Club, and it is my favourite of all the opening songs. So let's have a bit of this.
As dust settles, moonlight sharp like a blade. Tuesday club door swing, cool cats invade. Rosie at the helm, a queen with no crown. Snaps fingers once the whole room quiets down. Jackets leather, glasses frosted with steam. Laughter ricochets like a well-oiled machine. Dice rolling shadows, secrets drip like wax. Stylish assassins, no need to relax. Tuesday nights where the ice don't melt. Every word spoken, every vibe felt. Rosie rules, no fools, no scrub. This ain't no party, it's the Tuesday Club. Tuesday nights where the ice don't melt. Every word spoken, every vibe felt. Rosie rules, no fools, no scrub. This ain't no party, it's the Tuesday Club. Corners dim where the whispers spark flames. Stories unravel but nobody names names. Vinyl spins and beats bounce off the walls. Saxophone crying like the street light calls. The regulars know it's not just a scene. It's a haven for the sharp, the slick, the serene. Chatter like bullets ricochet through the air. Rosie's eyes sharper than a lioness stare. No drama, no mess, just rhythm and flow. Tuesday's the day, the city, let's go. Tuesday nights where the ice don't melt. Every word spoken, every vibe felt. Rosie rules, no fools, no scrub. This ain't no party, it's the Tuesday Club. Tuesday nights where the ice don't melt. Every word spoken, every vibe felt. Rosie rules, no fools, no scrub. This ain't no party, it's the Tuesday Club.
This ain't the party, it's the Tuesday Club. Thank you so much for being here with me on what I think is a reason to celebrate. Tottenham Hotspur. I've put a poll in the link so far. Not many of you voted, but 75% of you, I think it's actually, 8 of you, not bad. 75% of you think that Tottenham will go relegated. I'm going to rattle through these comments. So good to have so many of you here. I love the Tuesday Club. Love the energy. And, of course, it's awkward. that you're all getting a musical interlude, one after the other. There isn't time for longer. We've got so much to do. Hawkwin Keys. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you every time. I'm glad you're getting back into the groove of being the first one in. Zanzi missed you on Sunday. No, Hawk, you were the geezer. And then there's Malia, Queen of Tea, and absolutely always here. And we couldn't do it without you. Big up, boss man, and all the legends in the chat. It ain't no party, it's the Tuesday Club. Absolutely. And Majin's here. Hey, guys. Fantastic. East End Apartment, even all Chalkers here. Delighted to see you, Chalkers. I have, ever since we first started interacting, I have been processing a way to do the Highbury Stadium mystery, and I think I'm close. So watch out for that in the coming months. And who else we got in the house? So Mort Licky Texas, hi chat, hope you're all well. And hi to you as well, Dan. I'm sure he's thinking he didn't type it. Rosie, Fandabi, Rosie. Tottenham could go down. I think they are going down. I think it's happening. I have dreamed of this moment. It tarnished the invincible season that Tottenham stayed up. It tarnished 97-98. So many times they nearly went down. 2 years in a row, though. This is getting... to me, they don't look as good as West Ham, Forest, or Leeds. What a comeback from Leeds as well. Tonight, I love that you can watch all these games at once, but every time I turned over, a game went absolutely toilet. Is it just me? Sheshko is looking scary. Yeah, you know what? I've got to say... No, I haven't got to say. I keep my mouth shut. There's no point in saying I told you so, but I've since he was at Salzburg, watched him at Leipzig, really like him. Never really saw much of Jokers, but I like him too. So look, we got what we got, right? So where are we? How come when I try to message Malia, my message gets errored? Don't know, mate. And it's everybody's favourite rage beta. Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. I'm going to do a voice for you now. They won't win 10 in a row, but I see them going on a 5-6 winning streak. More than us. Yeah, because we never win 5 in a row. In fact, to be honest with you, we have got some difficult games coming up. You know, a lot of when you share your opinions, it's not necessarily clear to me what they're based on. You might just have very poor opinions. Can you kind of substantiate why you think the Manchester City, who lost to Bodo Glimt... In fact, you know what? I'll come back to you because I want to show typical City, because we are, all of us, at the moment getting told, City are on the march. And I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, but I will come back to that. YouTube is playing up Zanzi. Okay, Aklak Arsenal. Based on their remaining fixtures, do you reckon Tottenham will generally get relegated? It'd be nice to assess their fixtures one by one. I'm more than happy to do that in a little while. But yes, I have looked ahead. It's tough because just like when you look at Manchester City and you can't see them dropping any points, they do. They drop points at home to Chelsea and Brighton. They drop points to Sunderland. They lost to Bodo. You know, you don't predict City losing, but then they do, or they do drop points. In the same way, I can't really see Spurs picking up points, but wouldn't it be just typically Spursy if they managed to get a point against us or worse? Queen of Scotland. It doesn't like me saying Darjeeling for some reason. Well, yeah, it's not very good tea. And we probably have a debate on teas now. I said at the start of the season that they're winning. To be honest, I'm not mad at it. I don't really like Darjeeling, and I think you're right not to. So it's fine. Prefer a normal cuppa, thanks. Luke Watts is here. I'm cool like that. And my comments keep getting roared. Why do you keep writing a roared? We will see them, Zanzi. Big up, Dan. Something with YouTube tonight. Do you know it's so many people that are desperate to talk about Tottenham, and everyone's glued. I had a real problem with my my sports coverage. Like the West Ham game kept pausing. Really irritating. Really, Sheshko's goal. Hey, Berlin Benny. Benny from Berlin. How the hell are you, sir? Been a minute. More Licky Texas. The media need to sell the story of a frightened-looking Arsenal running from the big blue whale to make the title race exciting news and justify their paychecks. It's so true. Like, nobody wants to really... I mean, like... Honestly, I'm going to come back to all of these points because I just thought it was hilarious. The narrative that was, and even people I like, I'm not naming any names, but one or two channels I quite like, had this whole thing of, City have narrowed the gap to 6 points. No, the weekend started, we were 6 points ahead. In fact, the only thing that happened is we slightly improved our goal difference. So that's not really a narrowing. They're not really catching us. Like I said, they've taken 19 points in the last 30. We've taken 23 off the top of my head. So, like, if anything, 22. I'd have to check that, actually. I might be talking out my hat. We have people backstage waiting to join. Let me get through these comments so I can bring on the people who make the show special. Doesn't send comments annoying. Well, you sent that one. I think we put a cheeky 5 mil offer for Van de Ven. We can get him. He's a good player. I do like him. Evening all, you beautiful people. Says, Nathan, great to see you. And hey all, is it wrong to not care about the Spuds? All I want is a couple of trophies. No, it's absolutely normal. It's far more classy to not be looking down at Tottenham, but I'm going to be a little bit. I just really do want to see them go down. That's all. 1977, I remember. Good God. Samus, fantastic to see you. And Sean, how are you doing? Love the music for the ad preceding this video. Great post. Excellent discussion. RE inadequate neighbours. Thank you, Paul. All the way from Zuckerberg, the territory. Come and join us every Tuesday night at 10:30. You absolute star. Our best streak was 5 wins this season. Right. Do you know what? We're 6 points clear. Just going to put it out there. So honestly, Tom's here, Mr. Tom. Do you know what? I can't help myself. There are people way backstage. I haven't forgotten you.
Almost everything has something to do with Leeds United. Mr. Tom, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Tom.
I can't help it, but I'm sitting here thinking.
I'm not going to play that because it's demonetizing. But Tom, fantastic to see you. Let me know about movie night because might not have one this Friday, but we want to do another one soon. I don't know about you. I don't know, but all you got is hope. That's all you need. All you need is hope. And well done on the draw, says Malia. And, a lot of this spent the day clean a garbage dump. So, yeah. Jose! Brilliant to see you. Right, let me bring them on one by one. First of all, missing on Sunday, here today. Look at you. That's almost biblical, that background. I love it.
I'm in the Arsenal bunker, and I'm looking at Spurs from 1977, and it's looking good.
It's looking good. And here's Berlin Benny. How are you?
Hello, guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Oder say guten Abend auch, actually. Guten Abend.
You're right. Guten Abend oder guten Nacht, da kann man alle beide sagen, nicht?
Au revoir.
You have found out that I am actually a native German speaker. Do you have, just as an aside, I meant to ask you this before, do you have Leberkäse in Berlin?
Leberkäse. Yes, we do, but I'm not.
Then hold that. I'm coming. You stay put. We're coming to get you. It's my favourite food. It's not for everyone. I take that point. All right, I know it's not for everyone. Even looking down on Tottenham. Go on, Leeds. And here we are. So much to talk about. What are you? There's two main centres of conversation I think we have to tackle tonight. Right. First of all, is this desperate attempt by everybody in the media to drum up some sort of fear in the Arsenal fan base. Best typified, if I may borrow one more moment of your patience to share this, because this had me laughing, right? Arsenal fans know, he says, right? So this is typical City, and this is it sharing? No, it doesn't seem to be. There we go. This is typical City, right? I really like this guy. He's a very good YouTuber and Manchester City fan. There you go. You can tell what's coming, but listen to this.
What a massive win that was. What a massive 3 points that was for Manchester City. They don't get bigger than that, to be honest. This season in particular, I'd say that's the biggest 3 points won by any side this season. and it's more than the 3 points because it's what it means to Arsenal, what it means to Manchester City, how energised we are. I've been doing this for the last 12 hours, been walking around doing this up and down everywhere I've been going. I've just been doing this like Jose Mourinho, up and down the touchline, making my dinner like this. I was having a shower like this. I got in bed like this.
I think we've seen enough. I'm just
Are you
gonna.
going to get demonetized?
No, listen. There's no money tonight. This is about more important things than money, isn't it? This is about Tottenham getting relegated. And I also just want to say, look, oops, big one. There we are. I just want to say, one of the times I think Man City are at their most frightening when their fans are just really calm. You know, they could be 6 points behind us and they're like, it's all good. When you see them like that, you've got your finger up.
Yeah. Why was he telling everyone that he's been masturbating all day?
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but the implication is there, you know. And I don't know if it doesn't seem like he's noticed the comparison, but quite as you put it, I did just want to.
He's got greater density in his right forearm than his left. So that suggests there might have been some kind of specialist activity that he was constantly doing.
So I don't know. But to the point, I want to come to both of you because we can talk about Tottenham, but I do just want to cover off this whole narrative that we are supposed to be frightened because they won at Liverpool. I would be frightened if they played Liverpool off the park. I would be frightened if Liverpool was slightly better side this season. I would be frightened, but for the fact that that is their first away win in 2026. And for all of the Arsenal, not Arteta FC type chat that you will hear from people, the prediction that they're going to go on some sort of 10-game tear seems based on previous events. So can we just spend a little bit of time talking about that? Unless you do just want to dive straight in and laugh at Tottenham. Benny, what do you think?
I'm going to be in probably the minority here, but honestly, from the first half, I was bored. Like, the first half was really, really boring. The game,
the Liverpool Man City game.
Yeah, Liverpool Man City. The game only lit up probably just before Szoboszlai scored, and it was a wonder goal, and like obviously City deserved to win that game. But like I both teams I didn't think were that good. No. I did like the ball was spent majority of the time in the midfield. Haaland barely had a sniff, and now I'm supposed to conclude from that match that City are kind of back. Like Liverpool were not good. Liverpool were playing at home. I was expecting them to dominate. They obviously had a few chances, but they barely did anything the whole match. City did play better than them. They did have the better chances. But for me, both sides, I didn't think were that great. But City won. You have to give plaudits to City. They did win. They did go all the way to Liverpool to win. And it is a kind of season-defining win because they have not been very good this season. So I can understand why their fans are excited. But to me, if we're looking at the football that was played by both teams in that match, honestly, I did not think either side were great. No. But that's my own opinion. I don't know.
I think everyone agrees. Like, yeah. I mean, first of all, bad audio, Bobby. You superstar. How are you?
I am very well and hoping for some relatively okay audio today.
It's sounding good. I'm not tempting fate, but it's sounding good.
That probably means I'm on my way out then.
I just suddenly disappear. I will come to you in a moment. Zanti, how do you feel about what Benny was saying? Did you feel it was I think, because I just want to say quickly, couldn't agree more. It was a really boring match. When Szoboszlai scored, I thought, Liverpool going to do to City what they did to us. I did not at that point, at the 85th minute. I had no idea.
Wait, sorry, Dan. I just want to say one thing before the others go. Did anyone feel, and I know maybe I feel like I'm the minority here, but I felt like Liverpool were playing for the free kick. Like they didn't create anything at all. But once they got that free kick, they were like, well, yeah, we're gonna. I was like, what? I was like, we get caned for calling about our corners. But when Liverpool got the free kick, they were like, okay, yeah, this is a chance for us. I was like, my mind just got shot. Like, they haven't done anything the whole match. But once they got that free kick, they're like, okay, yeah, now we're going to use it. Anyway, others go. Sorry.
Listen, honestly, it was a really boring match. Liverpool were nowhere in the first half. The prediction everybody made was watch out for Man City declining in the second half. And that's kind of what happened. So when that goal goes in the 84th minute, I honestly thought it comes after a period of sustained Liverpool pressure. No one is expecting Alisson to do something as stupid as that penalty. And then, even then, right at the death, a fantastic save by Donnarumma keeps but I think, let me just, before I come to you, Zanzi, I just want to say, on Saturday, my feeling, it was a really weird sensation. I was washing up and I suddenly thought, what if we win the league? I'm going to celebrate. I started putting myself in that place, and you shouldn't do that. There's 13 games left, and I remember thinking, I don't care if, I really didn't see Man City getting 3 points at Anfield. They never do. But I thought, even if it's a defeat at 9 points, I'm still not going to get ahead of myself. We're going to grind out results. Zanzi, how did you feel? What are your thoughts?
It's like Benny said, pretty boring match. It was basically two teams with fairly good attacks and shit defences, and it was going to be. I thought it might be like 3-3 or a high scoring game. But it was neither team played that well.
No, but we've got to fear them now.
No.
They're on the march now.
And Man City had the rub of the green and got 2 goals. Liverpool didn't.
Well, they very much did, because I do think that Alisson, he doesn't normally do that, and I'm glad he doesn't. But Bobby, good audio, Bobby, today.
Fingers crossed. I agree with all three of you in terms of the fact that it was complacency by Liverpool, and what I found really interesting was the frustration in the fans' voices. So as much as we were frustrated, the fans were devastated, because they really don't want to miss out on Champions League. They especially don't want to miss out to Man United. So it was really frustrating to hear that. But I'm very similar to yourself, Dan. I was manifesting the parade. I was actually going to message you and say, would you do a meet and greet at the parade?
Oh God, I'm
literally,
I'm hiring
a. It's too far. I was going to message you and say,
no, but do you know what? There is going to be a parade. I don't care what anyone says. I just believe, and I've even looked into hiring a place in Finsbury Park, because I don't want to inflict a loads of people on my brother. But there will be a little get together, and I'm taking days off work. I understand that there are negative people out there who say, we haven't won anything yet. You can be like that if you want to, right? I just feel like I haven't seen anything from this City team to scare me. And if I'm supposed to be frightened because they scored that penalty in the dying embers of that game, then sure. But even if they get full points, they finish on 89 points, and we can finish on 90 points. So I think it's in our hands. It's where we want it to be right now. However negative some of the Gluminati want to be, wouldn't you have taken this at the start of the season? I mean, apart from anything, 6 points clear at the top of the league, through to the next round of Champions League, League Cup final. We've lost 3 games all season, and Tottenham get battered everywhere they go, but might not be a problem next season for us. We won't have to worry about going to that Kazi of a stadium. Pins in the thoughts, please, guys. I'm going to go through the comments. There's some good footy on display today. Yes, there was, and I kept missing it. I turned over from the Chelsea match to the Bournemouth match. Every time I turned over, it went horribly wrong. The only good football I saw was the end of the Man United West Ham game, but there was no choice. So I'm going to have to buy more screens, I think. YouTube do one. The 3 amigos are back. Hey, there's 4 of us. Leeds. Love it. Love Leeds. Becoming a real Leeds fan. Never thought I'd say that. Jesus has had a haircut. Which also brings me, let's talk about that idiot Man United fan and his stupid 15 minutes of hair-based fame. Cole Palmer has been hanging out with Zuma the way he kicked the ball for a horrendous miss. Didn't see it. Missed nothing. That's not PG. Aina Yandrop, great to see you. Everyone being unglamoured by City. Fascinating. AFC Rids Bosh. Luke Watts. And why do we have the weakest fans? Panic all over the internet. We just have to do our thing. Well, you know what? I'm not ever going to criticise our fan base, but I will say this. 22 years of near misses and nowhere nears has got us to a point where we just don't know how to be. This is what I'm saying. Like, the Man City fans in their prime, I'm thinking of when they came to the Emirates and beat us 3-1 that season after dumping us out of the FA Cup. All their fans are like, it'll be fine, we'll beat you guys, there's no way we're going to... And now they're all hysterical. And our players seem to be calm. But it can go wrong very quickly. We all know that. I have to say, you've been so generous recently, Bobby. I really massively appreciate it. You know I do. Thank you. Just being here is enough. But evening all, says Cole. Great comments from you earlier. I've had so many good comments under the videos. I just want to say, look, we are all in this together and we're going to stay calm. Well, most of us. I say that just to put him. Every team pams Liverpool except us. We couldn't score a goal in both games. Arteta set up not to lose. So jarring. So many games he's done this. Otherwise, we could be so clear. Yeah, we'd be like 15 points clear, wouldn't we, if we had Luis Enrique? Isn't that what you said last time? 15 points clear. It's a travesty. It's a disgrace. If he wins the league, I still want him sacked for not winning it sooner. I don't know. Just whatever. Can you also... your private videos that have scooted you up to a sudden 27,500, could you release them? Because I think at the moment, I really want to see them. It's a bit like the Epstein files. I want to know what's in these videos that got you so much attention. Both teams lacked quality. It was so boring seeing them fumble about. Yes, but now that's the story, isn't it? Like, they've won. The result was great for City. The performance was crap. So now you think, how are they going to play against Fulham? It's going to be interesting. But it could be... closing the gap to 3 points. Will the narrative, if we then beat Brentford, be Arsenal have extended their league to 6 points? No. If they beat Fulham and they're 3 points behind us and we beat Brentford, it'll be, it's still a close thing. You know, City are still chasing them down. Poor old Cinderella story of Manchester City. You is the biggest weaklings, always effing complaining. Bobby! It seemed like both teams dropped tactics and just went back and forth. There wasn't a lot of tactics, was it? But Jose said, I thought it was a good match. Did you mean like... Well, I didn't think it was a good match. Rosie, I'm doing well. Are you? But I don't need to read those. Fair play. Let's give them credit when it's due. A winner, Ando. Yeah. If you continue to be negative and rage bait people in the chat, I will have no choice but to remove you. If you say something, back it up. He doesn't, but please don't ban him. He's the comic relief. How do these people survive in real life? We have ups and downs, but we move on, right? Exactly. Cole. Win at Anfield, a big result, but we're counting on City equaling us. That's 6 points clear as a buffer. You know the team is focused on their games, not anyone else's. I do worry about Brentford away. Am I the only one, Benny? Are you worried about the game at Brentford?
Yeah, I worry about every game like every Arsenal fan, but the good thing is that I'm not part of the team. Because every time I hear any of the players talk, they seem to just be concentrated on the next game. I think we will beat Brentford. I think the way Arteta, these last few games, the way he has set us up, seems to be quite tactical, and we've been very efficient. So Leeds, we've been very efficient with our chances against Leeds. I think we outscored our XG against Leeds, and the same thing against Sunderland. So I'm even expecting the same against Brentford. But like every Arsenal fan, I will always have PTSD and I will always be worried. But I think the game I'm actually worried about more is the Spurs game. And maybe even the Wolves game.
That's pure... Yeah. That fear, which I think is reasonable, you know, it's not rational, but it's reasonable. But that fear of the Spurs game is not built on anything other than the fact that it's a North London derby. Because I've seen them play, and I haven't seen anything from them remotely worrying. But that doesn't mean anything, does it? It can still go horribly wrong. Zanzi, Brentford a worry? Are you worried about Spurs? Are you worried about anything? Is life too good to worry at the moment?
Yeah, as Benny said, you worry about every game, but we should beat Brentford. I think we will beat Brentford, be 2-0, maybe 3. Spurs, not worried about. Wolves, not really worried about them either.
Wolves is mad, isn't it? I forgot, like it's an FPL double Arsenal again. I haven't got enough Arsenal players in, and I don't know how people do it with Fantasy Premier League. I just don't have the time to remember to do it on time. But I really thought I'd taken João Pedro out of the team tonight, and instead I looked and I'd actually captained him. So it's all good, really. But we have nothing to fear. I do want to read this from Ina Yandrop. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. It was not my intention. I'm just sick of people being negative and complaining every single week. You certainly didn't offend me. I don't know why you think you might have offended anyone. In here, it's a pub. People do sometimes get into debates, heated or otherwise. The rule is basically attack the idea, not the person. So as long as you don't get personal. But yeah, look, there are... Bobby, you'd agree, wouldn't you? There are just a lot of Arsenal fans flapping around like, essentially... sort of pregnant teenagers, basically, sort of like, mood swings are like everyone's planning the parade on Saturday and trying to avoid social media on Sunday night. Because...
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, because and I was reading Arsenal fan, not Arteta fan, comments then, and it just made me think we've all got two options in terms of how we interpret this title race. We can either be really optimistic, as I was on Saturday, and I'd like to manifest, there's loads of great people that meet up at the parade and they'll really enjoy the experience or go down with the families and it'll be... And I think the thing with football is sometimes as well is we're guilty of this. It resembles... we put too much emphasis on, for example, if Arsenal lose on a weekend, it does sway into your personal life and that kind of stuff. And I think I've been an Arsenal fan, not Arteta fan in the past, and I'll be honest with that. I've been that kind of guy who's, during the periods where things look very bleak, I've had that outlook. But I just think to myself now that during this 13 games is a long time to be really depressed and anxious for. And I don't want to be that. I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be that. And I'm hoping an Arsenal fan, not Arteta fan, will see that he can probably be a bit more optimistic and say, you know what, forget about City, forget the fact that we've not beaten them. Let's just think they're going to drop points. We will drop points, as you've said many of times, Dan, and so have you, Benny, and yourself, Sensi. But I think we've got a choice: either be optimistic and back the team, or panic. And I'll be honest, I'm like Benny as well. I do panic. Like I'll go into this Brentford game, but I'm going to try and reframe how I think of things within this title run. I'm just going to try and be, you know what, we're winning this title by hook. I don't know what the journey looks like, but the destination is that we'll be at a parade at the end of it.
Well, do you know what? Enjoy the journey, not the destination. That is a simple life rule, because you can. I mean, I rewatched Fever Pitch for the ending scene again, where he's like, "Oh, and there's a scene where they're both at the Derby game, or it might be the Wimbledon game, but they're sitting in the stands and he's going, we've blown it. 2 games to go and we blew 2 home games that we could have won, and we lost to Derby, drew to Wimbledon, and it's all over. And I'd waited my whole life. I'd never seen us win the league. It was 2 years before I was born, and I was furious and angry, and then we won it. And I think that had an effect on a lot of Arsenal fans, because you suddenly get to the point where it ain't over till it's over. And let me be rational, because you always hear pessimists saying that they're realists and optimists saying that they're realists. And in truth, neither are. The realist would say no one knows, there's no way of knowing, and that's not satisfying to anyone. People don't come onto YouTube or search out places to go to hear no one knows. They want someone to come out and go, we're definitely doing it, or we're definitely not doing it. And obviously I've landed on this. I've said there are 13 games to go. There are 3 months to go. If I spend the rest of my 3 months in misery because I'm sure we're not going to do it, and then I suddenly elated that we do it, that seems like a waste of 3 months. I would feel differently if we were 6 points behind City. I just wouldn't be allowing myself to get happy. But at the point where I'm sitting here now and I'm going, whatever I thought was going to happen, this is much better, and I'm celebrating and I'm enjoying that. And I feel like all we can do as fans is support. And the way I look at it is, imagine if you went for a job interview, right? You go for a job interview, as you leave the house, your brother or sister or family relative says to you, you're never going to get this job, you're shit, right? And you go to the job interview and you do the job interview and you come home, you obviously don't know if you've got the job or not yet, and they tell you, well, you definitely won't get it because you're shit. And then you get the phone call that invites you to a second interview and they're like, there's no point going, you're shit. You go, and at that second interview, they tell you you've got the job, and you skip home and they meet you at the door and you say, I got the job. And they say, yeah, well, you'll get sacked because you're shit. There's just a point where you stop listening to those people. They're not good for you. That's not a support network. All these people that talk about toxic positivity are full of shit. In your clan, in your group, in your tribe, when you go out to do something as incredibly difficult as winning the Premier League, if people aren't standing there going, man, well done for being this close. If you're going to listen to Tottenham fans telling you that you're bottlers, if you're going to listen to Chelsea fans and Man United fans who are crying, John Terry crying, or what, telling us that the Carabao Cup isn't that important when they lose it. Not a minute before when they're still in it, but when they lose it. And then watching Fofana on the pitch and say, you want to tell him because he's in tears. You want to say every time we achieve anything, it's shit and we're going to be shit and we're definitely going to bottle it. Fine, I'm not living that life, and I'm not interested in people who have loads of really negative things to say and then masquerade them as, well, certain channels are saying, you know, thanks to me bitterly complaining, Arteta's finally started listening and he's dropped Odegaard. It's like, oh, good God, really? So you think that the kindest thing you can do for your loved one is tell them they're shit and they're not getting a job. And I'm not that guy. So that's me rant over. But I do think if you have a choice between staying positive and staying negative, the reason people are negative is they're shielding themselves from disappointment. And let me be the first to tell you, in life, you can't. It's happening. It will happen, right? Disappointments happen. Enjoy them when they're not happening. And at the moment, they're not happening. If you're going to tell me that I'm stupid for thinking that we could win the league, then don't be the same moron that told me this was going to be a top 4 battle this season. Because your vouchers for me listening to your opinion expired at the point where we are now 6 points clear with 13 games to go. We've lost 3 games all season across all competitions. And we're being tracked down by a team that just lost away to Bodo Glimt, right? So that's me. Who wants to go next? Or should I read out some comments?
Great take, by the way.
Sorry, Bobby?
Oh, no, sorry. I was just saying great take on that.
Yeah. Do you remember when we'd done the Invincibles and it is August 2004, we're at home to Middlesbrough. Now, back in those days, I thought, who are Arsenal playing? Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll win. I was that confident. And we were at home to Middlesbrough, 1-0 up. Within about 15 minutes of the second half, we're 3-1 down. I'm still sat at home thinking, oh, yeah, we're still going to win. And we did. We won 5-3. But nowadays, if we went 3-1 down, I'll be thinking, okay.
Do you know what? Nowadays, I think we all have to take a stock of the fact that what you see on social media is just desperate click, please watch me, please watch my daft opinion. Real fans, real people that you meet out and about, if you're touching grass and you have sunshine on your face, although in England it's raining all the time, but real people, when you meet out and about, go, yeah, I think you're going to do it. Real City fans are like, look, we beat Liverpool, it's great, but we still make you favourites. Noel Gallagher was on Talk Sport talking about it.
Yeah.
Real people are like, if you're not swayed by opinion pendulums that move from one place to the other, they go, well, obviously, let me put it to you another way. Carling Opta, which is an independent body, which analyses and runs simulations of the league using form and placement and games to come. They run 10,000 simulations, and in 9,500 of them, we win the league. That's not an opinion. That's just a statistical analysis. I listened to a bookmaker talking about this. Now, obviously, I understand a little bit about how bookmakers work, but he was saying you can't no one's betting on anyone but Arsenal. We can't give away bets on anything else. So when it comes to YouTube and you're watching all these people going, you're rattled, I've been doing this all day, you can watch that and take it seriously. You can go, I'm just doing this right now. Anybody that wants to say, oh, you're foolish for thinking you're going to win, I say, we'll see, won't we? We'll see. We'll see in May. We'll see. But I will say this, all the pricks that are nasty about the fan base because we're too positive and our standards are the reason we haven't won the league, surely give us some credit when we do win the league. And if they do or don't, they're not welcome to my party parade. That's all I'm saying. And Einer's done nothing wrong is fair. We need to stop stressing about City results and keep doing our job. AFC Rids, 100%. And I think that's what, Benny, you were saying that, isn't it? It's like the players, at least, are kind of focused on, although, honestly, I think that's shit as well. I think they are looking ahead. I think they're like, right, if we win this and we win that, it's got to get the job done. Assuming, of course, that City do beat Fulham. After the 5-4 classic, I think probably the best game of the season was the 5-4. So AFC Rids, exactly. Can we talk about games we can do something about? Exactly. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. You know that you never have anything positive to say, and when you ask, I'm not going to do it. Glass half empty, glass full. Glass. Arteta chose this glass shape. It's all wrong. Might as well have no glass at all. Wow. Lucky Singh with a new avatar. It's gone. Casemiro. Where's your Glazers out? I'm not reading it if it doesn't say Glazer. There it is. I'm not either, Anthony. Anything can happen. It's only 6 points. We must double our efforts. Yeah, and I think all that we can do is transmit positivity. There's nothing else you can do. When you decide to be a football fan, someone should sit you down and go, now look, you're just going to have to accept what happens, right? You're an Arsenal fan. You've got statistically better than average chance of being involved in silverware most seasons, but you could easily be a Hull City fan. You could easily be a York fan, or you could support a club that's never going to win anything. And being a fan isn't about the destination. Because you know what? We win the quadruple. I haven't seen Boytendia yet, but if we win the quadruple, life doesn't stop. You still got next season. I've been there. You win the league, you're excited. All summer it's exciting, and then the first game of the next season, it's really tough, and you go, oh shit, And let's face it, as Arsenal fans, I've seen us win 5 titles. I've never seen us defend one. So the minute that we win the title, all the Gluminati will be going, yeah, but he's not going to defend it. You just have to, as a certain point, can we all just ignore them? Not Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. You always say really interesting and exciting things. And listening to you means I don't have to go and listen to all the other gloomy people. Games on a Thursday, what does that remind you of? I know, long time ago. YouTube, it's pointing to you here. Did I miss him? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. There he is. Act like you've been here. Right. Now, I thought it was because I was making gun noises in the chat, but it turns out I just can't post normally today. Lots of errors. YouTube's having a bit of a, I think. Don't know why. Stick with us, and we'll get through it. We'll get through it together.
I couldn't post my evening landlord thing either.
I saw it though. I saw that.
You saw it?
I think I did. There's
You
just so
didn't
many.
read it out.
I'm so sorry. I'm go and find it now for you. I don't really don't have a meltdown.
I'm more upset about that than
actually.
Arsenal.
No, I didn't get your evening landlord up. Well, there's nothing to be upset about, is there? Genuine question. Oh, I do celebrate individual games, but we haven't won every game also. I know, I'm so sorry. Who's your mate? Seriously, who brought this guy? Yeah, until Arteta wins every single game, I'm never going to celebrate. Brilliant. Genuine question. If Arteta wins a quad, when Arteta wins a quad, we've got Boytendia here, please. Could he go down as the best Arsenal manager of all time? Is it longevity that makes you go? Oh, I do wonder. Would it? Let me go the other way around this time. Bobby, what do you reckon? Statue for Arteta?
100%. I think if you... I'd say a statue for Arteta, even if this is going to be probably really criticised, but I'd say even if he won the Premier League, a statue's worthy, purely because of the transition of the club during those phases.
No, you can't. You're not getting that. You're not getting that.
But I think they should do. Obviously, not during his period with us, but I think if he leaves and we've won a Premier League during such a barren period, I think that really deserves...
I don't think you can contextualise a statue like that. I mean, George Graham doesn't have a statue for completely different reasons. But I'd like to see a statue to George Graham long before I see a statue to Arteta if he only wins the Premier League.
Wasn't there some criminal dealings with George Graham, something there, wasn't there?
There's a great. I don't know if we all watch Father Ted, but if anyone hasn't seen Father Ted, you have to watch it. It's brilliant, brilliant comedy for turn of the 90s. But there's a.
I love Father Ted.
Yeah, so in there he always goes. There's a controversy around Father Ted, and he always says the money was just resting in my account, which is basically exactly what George Graham said. He goes, yeah, I mean, yeah, I got 100,000 from buying Pal Lederson, who went on to be about as bad as you thought he was going to be. But no, I was going to give it back. I've paid it all back. So George Graham had fallen out with a team long before he was thrown out for essentially taking bungs.
He was basically doing what MPs do now.
In fairness to George Graham, yes, MPs do it now, but all football managers have been doing it for all time. Everyone takes bungs. It's because they weren't paid that much. And to be honest with you, I think there's enough water under the bridge. He's been invited back to the Emirates. It's time that we said, you know what? Okay, you took money for signing John Jensen and Pal Dederson and Glenn Helder, who's still the worst player I've seen in an Arsenal shirt. But you delivered 2 titles, FA Cup and League Cup in the same season, another League Cup against Liverpool, which Zanzi, you and I have discussed, where even though they went 1-0 up, I've forgotten his name now, what's the...
Rush.
Ian Rush
Yeah.
scored, and they never lost a game when he went put them 1-0 up. So he did amazing things. That gets a statue before... Although, obviously, a quad never been done before. Treble, I think you have to be looking at Arteta. I want to put a statue up of him just to piss off these gloomier fan base. That's what I want to do. I just want
if he does the league and the European Cup.
Oh yes, anyone who wins the European Cup gets a statue.
Would the league in the Carabao be enough?
No. It's not a proper double. Don't get me wrong. Start of the season, if you said, Dan, you're only going to win the league and League Cup double, I'd have gone, oh well, all right then.
Can I put this in context then? If you won the league and Carabao Cup, and just say he gets, argue's sake, he gets fired next January, and you have a manager that comes in and achieves nothing for 10 years.
Well, it won't happen, will it?
Oh no, but I mean, just in that context, say for example, they fell out next January, but he's won us this and that, and then we go on with a new manager like everybody, the Illuminati one, and then we win nothing for 10 years. Would you then look back at that double as significant enough for a statue?
No, it's a really well put question. I haven't got to you for a little while there, Benny. What do you reckon? Would you give him a statue?
Yes, you would.
If you won a quadruple, I'll build the statue for him. I'll go to Emirates.
Not to cast aspersions. I've never seen your sculptures, but have you sculpted anything before, or you just
no?
Well, we'll probably.
But I'll make sure I build it for him. A quadruple.
They may think it's George Graham.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I do think George Graham deserves a statue. I think Ian Wright deserves a statue. There's a number of people who deserve a statue. It's not like we're running out of space down there either. Like, we've got room. Put some statues up, you tight bastards.
In 30 years' time, they're going to go around the Emirates Stadium and see Benny's statue there, and they look at it and think, who the fucking hell is that?
No. I think... do you know what?
Who's Arteta?
Yeah. This is a kind of comment that always makes me laugh. It speaks to the self-importance of certain people. Like, I'm happy when we win, but I still call it out if we don't play well, and I praise we do play. No one gives a shit. It's like, I praise them and I criticize them. Do what you want. Like, I'm happy to criticize as well. We all criticize when we don't think he's played well, but it comes to a point where you do have to shut up for a minute when you're 6 points clear at the top of the table with 13 games to go. And you were one of the people that was saying, get rid of this manager, get rid of this manager. There are no managers doing better than him. And when you want to call out how badly we're playing, just bear in mind that we've played better than everybody else, or we wouldn't be 6 points clear. I can't agree with the statue for just a league title. Nah, Jose, I think you're right. I don't think any of us really think that. But Boy Ted Diaz says, when Arteta wins a quad, he's going to get a statue, and he's probably our greatest manager of all time. Easily. Step aside. Ooh. I can't have step aside Chapman. I mean, like, obviously Chapman built the club with his own bare hands, but I think we're all on the same page. I like what you're trying to do with context and say, in 10 years' time, but I don't think that's how it works. I'd hate to think of that future. By the way, please don't put that out there. Please don't.
No, that's worse than Illuminati. That's
terrible. That's cursed territory.
I apologise.
That's Tottenham
There's
territory.
me saying, "Oh, let's all be positive," and then I'll put out the gloomiest future. Like Thanos.
I know, right? You're fighting your urges. The Jose's put now if Arteta wins a UCL, I can't say I disagree with statue. I think most of us are in that. Is anyone here that disagrees that he gets a statue if he's the first man to win the Champions League for Arsenal? That's an
but they've got to make sure they do his hair dead right though, because that's the most important thing, isn't it?
They could use his actual hair.
Yeah.
If we win by not playing, we'll take it. Man United used to do that under Ferguson. This nonsense about you have to play well to win games. Where's that come from? Like, did I live through George Graham? Like, I just argued he should have a statue, but like playing well never occurred to Arsenal fans that we wanted to play well as well. Like the occasional game. I just enjoy watching Arsenal play football. Easy, really. Thank you, Sam Hurst. Well put. Sometimes it's the simplest way of putting it that makes the most sense. Do you gents feel like Arsenal fans are so concentrated on the next game that they're neglecting to celebrate the game they've just won? Rosie, beautiful question. I'm going to put that out to everyone else. Personally, I think there's time enough for... I do celebrate victories. I did celebrate us beating Leeds. I did celebrate us beating Sunderland every game in the Champions League. I celebrated lots of victories that I didn't think we would get. Newcastle away, Man United away. I've been really pleased with this season. I'd be mad if I wasn't. I'd be Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC, if I wasn't. But I think there's a point where you celebrate and you just move on. Like we're in 4 competitions. You have to just focus on the next one. Anyone disagree with that?
No.
Great panel.
It doesn't matter how we win. If we win, I'm happy. If we draw, I'm not happy. If we lose, I think, okay, let's move on to the next game. That's it.
Honestly, I think the last game I celebrated really hard was the Chelsea win for the Carling Cup. The other games have been like, we won, let's move on to the next. Even if we lost, like the next game and the next game and the next game, I've not kind of tried to be too carried away I
took it really personally when John Terry and people were saying we over celebrated, because I was mental for at least 3 minutes. I was mental. I looked up, I saw the Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans are the worst anyway. It's all like one person, isn't it? There's like thousands of just one sort of meat-headed Chelsea fan, and they just aggravate me at all times. But when Havertz scored, the context of that goal, everything about it, I lost my shit. People were hugging each other, limbs everywhere. It was a fantastic experience. And I must have been going for 3 or 4 minutes, because by the time I looked up, every Chelsea fan had cleared the stadium. And I don't know, maybe I'd been celebrating for 15 or 20 minutes, but I don't get when people try and tell other people how to celebrate, because it's the weakest thing you can do. So you shouldn't enjoy it that much. Well, I enjoyed it exactly as much as I enjoyed it. I don't need advice on how much to enjoy something. Thanks, though.
I'll be honest, I don't think anybody needs advice from John Terry in terms of how to enjoy anything.
No.
So if you took his personal values into equation,
you wouldn't, though, would you?
You'd live a totally different life, wouldn't you? Let's be honest.
Yeah. I just thought it's, I don't know what's happened to him where he just thinks, oh, God, I'm not current anymore. Paul Scholes is on TV, so I want to be. But yeah, I don't care what John Terry thinks. But I celebrated like crazy that night. And then you come away from it the next day and you think, well, we haven't won anything. It's only a final. What if we lose to City? And then all the worry starts again. But that's part of the joy of football and success. If you didn't have these anxiety pangs, if you didn't worry, if you were constantly a total, not to get silly, but all is for the best in the best of all possible worlds, Candide by Voltaire, like the ridiculous literary example of optimism gone to absurdity. If you were, everything's going to be great all the time, you couldn't really enjoy when it goes right. You need things to be bad before you can enjoy the great. This is why I have so much respect for people like Big Steve, the Man City fan, who was there for the 4,000 attended at York. And you remember they were League 2 and they've come all the way back. Sorry, League 1. And they've come all the way back. And those fans must just be the perfect example of how to be a football fan, isn't it? You turn up, you come to your team, they get relegated. You're like, okay, well, I'm still going. You know, your big heroes are Sean Gota. There's still 22,000 in there. You want to say something, Benny?
Yeah, one of the reasons I actually quite like Big Steve is that yes, he has been a fan for a long time, and he also calls it out because there are so many. Well, like I don't want to speak too much about Man City, but you have like so many fair weather fans who support them when they are just winning, or were supporting them when they are just winning, and now that they start to lose or concede a few, then you get the fans calling for Pep out or whatever. And then it's like, hang on a minute. You went there with us from day one of the journey. You were not there when we were at our lowest of the low. And now you come, and once we get a few losses, you think, okay, now it's okay to just call for the manager's head, or like
Or Erling Haaland to be
shit.
subbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. And it's like, kind of the same thing of some of our guys, like of the fans in Arsenal, where like I get we have like 4 years of like not winning anything. Sorry, loads of years of not winning anything, but 4 years of row of getting second. But then it's like any kind of positivity coming, you're not really willing to back the team. You're just going back to that like previous hurt. I'm like, how do you think teams win titles? You think they win if you're just continually negative, or eventually somebody has to get the crown, get the title somehow, and it doesn't come from just being like, oh, we're never gonna win, we're never gonna win. Like if the Arsenal players taught like how some of our fans think, we would never win. We might as well
we'd be
just
Tottenham.
I don't think they'd turn out to the games.
Yeah.
They'd stay in the bus.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
just
such a. You made me think, because Big Steve is exactly what I like in a football fan. You know, he's been right more often than he's wrong. He knows his football. There's no question about it. He says what he thinks. He got criticised for doing the skybox. They paid him a load of money. I think he has no reason to worry about other people's opinion of him. But you do get ones like Hamza, who's always on. Like I see him, and he clearly became a City fan because they were doing really well, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a City fan. I'm City." So he goes around telling other teams what's wrong with their teams, as if he's somehow architect of the Man City resurgence. And then on top of all of that, when they start doing badly, he talks about it's a disgrace, it's not good enough, and you go, "Well, where were you when you were shit?" That's still my favourite thing to chant at the Chelsea fans. Although, to be fair, with Chelsea it's different because there's still not that many of them. But it happened with Chelsea fans. A generation of young people after Roman Abramovich went, "Hey, I really like Chelsea. They're cool." No, they're not. They're Chelsea. But the statue should be roll neck, arms folded, staring intently. You'd have to move, wouldn't it? Because he'd never sit still. If George Graham doesn't have one after his accomplishments, no way a League Cup and double is good enough. I agree with you. I agree with that. Can't celebrate Rosie. It's not allowed. Exactly. Well, the Yard Man, it was that kind of silly period, wasn't it? It was like, I'm not celebrating a win against West Ham because we only beat them 2-0. And it's like, oh, have you lost? Who told? How did you think football was? Like, who? Do you think they should just be like, before you go around saying you're an Arsenal fan, you should have a little a training session? You just go, right, don't behave like a dickhead because you're making us all look like dickheads.
Maybe the Arsenal fans should celebrate like they did in the 1920s. You know, jolly good shot, jolly good show, lads, jolly good.
I keep trying to find. It's really difficult to find actual copy of people celebrating, shaking hands. And there he is. He's won the game for Arsenal. Had a good shaking of hands and a slap on the bottom, and they're back to the dressing room for a cup of tea before going to work later on tonight. It's that sort of. We have a more remote. I mean, it's really interesting if you study the history of when celebrations became all about the self. In the 70s, people celebrated together, but you didn't have one person doing a knee slide. You didn't have one person pointing about you. You just had everyone got together as a team. We've become more and more individualistic as a society, and that spreads everywhere to people who think that their opinion is somehow relevant to the world of football. But Yeah, celebration, please, not necessary. Michael Thomas, dramatic goal that secured the 89 title at Anfield. Still my most ecstatic moment as an Arsenal fan. Mortley, Texas. It will never be beaten. It's not going to get beaten this season. Although, like, I imagine our fans would be in absolute meltdown if it gets to the final game of the season and we have to beat Palace. And they go, I don't know. I'm sure we're doing it by Burnley, to be honest. Burnley, I'll make you a statue, Rosie. Thank you, Luke. All right, here we go. Zanzi, that's poor. Tell the landlord he needs beer and plenty of it. Yeah. Gary's here. And then, of course, hello, Gary.
Oh,
bye, Gary.
Hi, Bear. Bye.
If
He's
Arteta doesn't win anything, I need a voice for you. I think in my head you sound a bit like a desperate the kind of bloke that everybody, you go into the kitchen at work to get a coffee and then he's in there and you go, I'll leave it. Do you know what I mean? If Arteta doesn't win anything, though, I mean, come on, there should be no argument about him going. No, there should be no argument about him going in May, but not like now that he's 6 months clear. Do you know what I mean? Let's have the conversation in May. Can you wait? Are you so impatient you can't wait?
Would he never come on, to be fair, or
who?
Arsenal fan, not Arteta fan, or
he's welcome. The link's there for everyone. I've never turned anyone down. I do keep my finger hovering over. We had the one Manchester fan who was drunk and decided to get politically or I can't remember if it was racism or politics, but whatever, he was a dickhead. I think you're celebrating too hard, mate. You might strain something. Oh, hello. Alan. I think Alan Smith deserves a long overdue statue along with Frank McClintock and Graham. Do you know what? Alan Smith, I would give you that. His goal against Parma in the Cup Winners' Cup somehow scored from... I always say it was outside the area. It wasn't. But it was still probably his longest range goal of all time. His header down to Michael Thomas. There's so many reasons why Alan Smith should have a statue. But Ian Wright, I think, just before him. That's all I'm saying.
Can I ask you both a quick question just on the Ian Wright stuff at the minute?
Yeah.
Do you think it's been a bit harsh, or?
I think, listen, you either live in a meritocracy or you don't, right? If you are a broadcaster and you think that more people are likely to watch because you have Ian Wright on than any other person, then you pick Ian Wright. What I had, I've forgotten her name.
Aluko.
Any Aluko. And I think she said some really interesting things in the past, but I haven't really seen that much of her. But she said, if Ian Wright really supported me, he'd get out of my way. He wouldn't have taken a job. And I think, hang on a minute, there's supporting, and then there's, like, he could get out of anyone's way. Do you know what I mean? Like, can I have a go at being ITV's? I'll do the women's games. I think it's the difficulty I have is I don't want there to be gender or any other divide or any other label. I think whether you're a man or a woman, if you are interesting to listen to, have them on. I don't complain if there's a woman commentating on a man's game, and I don't think that. I like Bill Burr. He has a brilliant take on this. He goes, women's NBA. He goes, you know who killed the women's NBA? It was women. Because you complain they don't get paid as much. You know when they'd get paid as much? If you all went and watched the matches. If you all go and watch the matches, then women will get more money than men in sport. But they don't. So I'm not taking a lot of criticism for not watching any sport, if it's women's football or not. But when you start this process of saying, because I am a woman, I should get preferential treatment or I should be involved and someone else shouldn't, then where does it end? We're not any better off. I find that there is so much hypocrisy in the politics of football. It's absurd. On the weekend, there were matches and they were doing everything they could to celebrate all kinds of sexualities and genders and things. There's not one single gay footballer. There's a huge hypocrisy here. If you want to say that you're inclusive, then how comes, in a normal demographic, you'd expect there to be at least 50. But I think football is a place we get away from politics, we get away from gender-based politics, we get away from religion, we get away from everything. And if we don't, what's the point of it? I can watch Donald Trump if I'm interested in all that kind of stuff. That was my thinking. I've rambled again.
No, fair.
Smudgy Jose, he won us a Cup Winners' Cup against Parma and the league at Anfield. And he was top goal scorer in 91. Alan Smudger-Smith, and he's one of the best commentators as well. Why do people worry about other people's way of supporting? The aspect kills me. Are you worried about another Arsenal fan or all the team? Hear me out. Chicken gyro is the best thing you can get from takeaway. Nope. No, it isn't. Let's see. I've been on both sides of the fence, and honestly, I'm exhausted and just quit at this point. Yeah, you know what? Like, it's okay just to give in and go, I'm going to be happy. Yeah. It can be hard work waking up every day finding negative things to say when the team's won. Oh, but they didn't win by enough goals. I'll have a rest. You guys saw how City celebrated their win versus Paul. I saw no criticism of their celebration. Nope. Really good point. And Slicex87, good evening. On to Brentford we go. Block out the noise. Let's just do our job. Well said. That's the spirit, isn't it? That's how we're all feeling. Oh, God, here we go. Amazing player, but Ian Wright is a bit of a PR plant for the club. Yeah, of course he is, yeah. I'm not sure you're not a PR plant for some other club. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think it's just one of them? It's like the undercover agent. Like, fuck, Arsenal fans having too much fun. Send in Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. Are you sure, sir? He's quite a lot to take. Send him in. But he does talk shit all the time. Yes, send him in at once. I don't eat lamb. They don't sell lamb gyros here, as far as I know. Why don't you eat lamb? Eat lamb. It's delicious.
It's gorgeous.
It really is.
It's got to be my favourite meat, I think, lamb.
Oh, really? Beef. I said I had a little moment before the start of the show where I said I'm not doing any food chat because I'm now my 3-day fast finishes tomorrow at 7:00, so I've not eaten since Sunday at 7. And
wow,
all I'm thinking about is steak. That's steak, avocado, and eggs. That's all I can think about.
Have you done just a water fast then, Dan?
Yeah, just electrolytes and 0-calorie coffee and the NutraSweet flavoured orange water. So it's great. I feel fantastic, but hungry as hell.
I thought you were going to say that you got onto your talking scales and they said, "Ow, get off."
No, I'm not going anywhere near to say, "Are you mad?" The scales. Nope, yeah. I don't trust them. I remember last time I weighed myself, I got on, and Mrs. got some scales. I got on them, I was like, "Oh, they're broken." Then I got on my scales and I was like, they can't both be broken in exactly the same way. It's not like they've spoken to each other, go, let's wind him up. I am just a fat git. So I've had to...
Dan, you've inspired me there. So I've been talking about doing a fast for ages. And right now at 11:41, I'm going to start mine. I'm going to attempt to do a 3-day fast.
No, don't do a 3-day fast. Don't do a 3-day fast. Don't do it. It's really not worth it.
I've done it before, to be fair, quite a while ago.
The 3-day fast is well, then you know what you're doing. But it's really a health reset because you will wipe out your entire immune system and rebuild it and autophagy and all that. But I love it. I stopped doing it for a few years and I've just gotten bigger and bigger, so I've got to start again. So I've been out walking. Hopefully I can get running again. What is better than a gyro, Dan? Take yourself out and have a wort. Well, I like a deep fried pizza. I just don't think I could ever bring myself to eat one. All right, well, we can do what's better. I just think if you're having a doner kebab, or as the Greeks call it, gyro, then I would say lamb doner. But I honestly think the best food, like I did the Foods Ball series, which I still haven't edited all together yet. I think a good cheeseburger takes some beating, no? Like, if you have a really good cheeseburger, not like...
Can I just say something about Bobby's... Wherever he is, he's down there somewhere. This 3-day fast. When I was in hospital, I had about 2.5 punts where I wasn't allowed to eat.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Do you know the record is 384 days without food?
Oh.
So
do you know the chap from... What's that show called? Kevin James or something like that? The American
guy? Yeah, he does 42-day water fasts and things like that.
Absolutely insane.
I had one of my best friends did about 60 days.
Wow.
To be honest with you, I think, like, for me, I'm not here to obviously give dietary advice or anything like that, but
full disclaimers.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would hate, but I went into this 7 years ago. I read, I saw Dr. Mosley, rest in peace, and he was and he was talking about. I'm sure that's his name. Actually, I can't remember. The chap who unfortunately died on holiday, but he did lots of. He wrote the book 5-2, and I read that. I thought this has got to be horseshit because obviously it's calories in, calories out. That's how the human body works. So I did it to prove it wouldn't work, and I did it for about 3 months, and the weight just fell off me. And so I started really looking into it, researched it a lot, and it just as simple as this: when you have insulin in your system, you cannot burn your fat. So even if you're eating, they always say eat a little and often. You eat a little bit at the start of the day, and then you eat a little bit. Most people are eating for about 16 hours a day, so their body is constantly producing insulin. So they never, ever go ketogenic. And if you don't go ketogenic, you're not burning your stored fat. So there is science behind it. There's tons of science behind it. And I really love it because of the way you feel. Like you get this incredible energy from fasting that you don't get from other things. But the problem I have is I fast, I get to an ideal weight. I got to my ideal weight. And then I was like, right, that's done now. I ran a 10K in my fastest time, got to my ideal weight. Right, don't have to do that anymore. So for the next 2 years, I just went back to exactly what I was like before. And you constantly think, oh, I can just fast this off. But obviously the right way to live is have a healthy lifestyle. Your PR plant, very popular and successful football, talking football. How is he qualified? It is such a... Do you know what? I think he's gone. I think we've chased him away. Arteta FC has gone. I can't keep calling him Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. Now this, Colliston, you are a hero. Wicked beef goulash. That's even in Germany you don't get a good beef goulash, do you, Benny?
I've only eaten a good goulash once, and that was in Cologne. That was a really
You'll
good
get
one.
it in Cologne. You will get it in Cologne. Yeah,
That
there's
was a
good
really
food
good
down there.
Yeah.
You're too far. You want to go Bavaria, and that's where the good food
I
starts.
actually lived in Köln for 4 years before moving to Berlin. So
I used to stop off in Köln all the time on my way to Austria and get food there. It is good food. And Bratwurst.
Did you hear that De Zerbi has left?
No.
I heard he resigned, but I didn't know he'd actually left. And also, can we have Ranieri back, please?
Fabrizio confirmed it, actually.
He's actually gone because they got beaten 5-0 on the
Yeah,
weekend,
they got
didn't they?
destroyed.
Was that against PSG, sorry? Or?
Yeah, it was against
and
PSG.
Ranieri played awful that game. He was a defensive liability.
He's been criticised quite heavily in the French press, which I think is a low point in his career. Bring him back. Let's have him back. We definitely need another midfielder without Marino. Another picture of an Arsenal player in hospital, please.
Would you say Dalman's due back in a few weeks?
No to Dalman. No.
Wow, why no to Dalman? Oh, I like Dalman.
Because Dalman's a child. That's
Yeah,
why.
but he's an exciting child.
Okay, I'm not going to clip that, but you want to? No to that. I'll let you recompose yourself and say that a different way.
No, but he's a really good. Like, I love what Dalman could bring. Like, he has something which I don't think any of our wingers have at the moment.
He could be super special. And there is something to be said for bringing in a player of that age who's not going to be scared in the title run-in. It would be nice to have him on the bench, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm thinking, I'd rather have Ranieri back because he's ready.
To be fair, the way Martinelli is playing, I think Ranieri can still stay in and get his defense up.
I said you will remember, Benny. I said when we let Ranieri go to Marseille, it's a shame because he's missing the best time to be at an Arsenal team, and that's fine if you're going to Marseille and they're playing you. But if you're going to Marseille and the fans are booing you, then just come home. Come home. Be part of our success. Don't sit there through 3 more months of misery and then come back just in time for a parade.
But Dan, he went there because he was a defensive liability, and if you bring him back, he's still a defensive liability. So, I don't know what do we do? Like, he needs to get that thing off him before.
I don't think we should play Ranieri. I think he should come back from Marseille. He's family. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't let anyone go off to that shit show right now. If De Zerbi's, we let him go because De Zerbi was there, and De Zerbi's a well-respected coach. As soon as De Zerbi goes, I'll be like, right, well, you coming home?
Yeah, maybe loan him to PSG.
Only if we get someone back. Who would you? No, there's so many. We'll take Dembele. You can have Wanyeri. Dan, is that fast? I thought you weren't allowed to drink coffee. You are. You're allowed to drink anything with no calories in it. In fact, you're even allowed to have, and I forget what they call it, torpedo coffee. You can have like 1 dose of fat if you're doing a fast. So you can put people do this. They put a stick of butter in coffee. I can't do that. But you're just not allowed any calories at all. Roberto De Zerbi and Marseille have parted ways. I'm the same with you, Gary. Get him back. I'll send someone to get him. Can we send Arsenal?
I don't see the logic in that. I'm like Benny as well. I don't see the logic in bringing him back because I think I get what you're saying in terms of he'll be part of what's most likely going to be a title-winning team, feel that success. But for his own development and for Arsenal as a team, surely you want him to have more experiences to learn.
If it was you, Bobby, if we'd let you go off on loan to Marseille whilst we were winning the Premier League, right? I would come and get you back. I go, no, come on, you're one of us. Don't let.
Please hope you do.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? If it was someone, if you were his parents, if you were like, I get it. He wanted game time. I'm not even sure it was his idea, but he wants to be. Listen, he can go on loan all next year, and he can go anywhere he wants, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. But right now, it's not going to be that. It's not what you would want for you, is it, or your loved ones?
No. In all honesty, putting it like that, I'd agree with you in terms of for your loved ones. But as a trajectory for a footballer, I think this period will be really important for him to go forward. If he learns even a bit more of his defensive game and he features a bit more of he could go to another club on loan next year, but hopefully this allows him to go to a bit more of, I think it'll just be more that he'll learn for a longer period.
Yeah, if they play him. But like, I think the French press are saying he's not very good. The fans are not impressed by him, and there's a new manager coming in.
He just played 1 game, Dan. He got destroyed by PSG 1 game.
He's played 3. He's played 3.
Well, he scored in 1. He scored in 1.
Yeah, and he got subbed early. I think he's played 4 now, and he's been subbed early in 3 of them. This is not me saying this. It's the French press.
But he's played only 3 games though. Like,
listen,
they will still give him time though.
What's the point you're making? The point you're making is that he deserves time. That's not a point you have to make with me. That's a point you have to. I'm saying he's playing in France. And they don't rate him.
Yeah, but I'm sure Marseille have more problems.
Oh, yeah.
That are not Wanyeri related.
Yeah,
I think they are least of the problems.
Yeah, of course.
So I think they will, now that they've let go of the coach, they need to sort the other problems out.
They didn't let go of him. He walked out on them.
Well, they have no coach now, so they have more problems to deal with than Wanyeri.
Of course. There's no argument that I can fathom that someone would say it all went wrong for Marseille the minute that Wanyeri turned up. That's just not the case. It's just bad timing. De Zerbi, I think, could have been a little bit more open with Arsenal and said, "Look, I'm not really enjoying it here, but let's have." He is trusted with some of the brightest talent in Europe because people respect him as a coach very much. But I don't know who the Marseille manager is, and I know that the French press are getting on Wanyeri's back, and I know he's not the reason that Marseille are doing badly. But what's he? Once again, I'd say I would come and rescue any one of you. Zanzi, do you agree with me?
I don't think he should have gone this year, purely because of where we are, what could happen.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think.
Do you mean in terms of injuries, Zanzi, or in terms
no? It's nothing to do with injuries or stuff like that. It's the fact that if when we win the Premier League this year, he's not going to be here to celebrate with the fans or the players. He's going to be sat in some French hotel watching it all on TV when he could have been here to celebrate with us.
I just say,
yes,
Ethan,
he'll get a Premier League medal.
If you're watching, there will be room in the party pad for you. Don't worry. I'll pay for your ferry to come home. Don't worry. It's an hour and a half flight from Nice. It's fine. It's
We've got loads of room in the cellar now. Anyway, it's all been cleared out.
It does look lovely, I must say.
Uh,
It gives you the sort of halo effect of a very sort of wise man. I really like it. I'm surprised you haven't done that sooner. A chicken gyro is better than any burger. Rosie just likes to. I know you rage bait me over food, but it's not working. One thing I was thinking, how football has really fallen off Europe. Yet, you know what I mean? Well, we had this last time, didn't we? The European Premier League is rubbish, and you go, well, it's 5 of the top 8 teams in Europe, and one of them is Spurs. That's kind of how bad other European teams are. Says Ryan, the Arsenal fan. Very good point indeed. Died in Greece out walking. That's it, Michael Mosley. I suddenly thought, God, did I get his surname wrong? It was Michael Mosley. What position were Chelsea in when they won the first UCL? Don't know. That was a painful experience for me. I thought they'd never win that, and then they've won it twice, man. Jose, why does Ian need to open criticise the team? Maybe he does behind closed doors to those need to hear it. Adams and Ian are very different people. We love both of them differently, right? Listen, if you're Paul Merson or Ian Wright or Alan Smith or anyone, you've earned the right to say what you think. And I'm not here to silence people. If I was, this guy would never appear again. But you know what? My point is, everyone's entitled to an opinion. I think that saying Ian Wright's a PR, it's like every time someone disagrees with you, it's like flat earthers. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but flat earthers, they can always tell you what's wrong with your idea, but they don't have any ideas of their own. So they go, Ian Wright disagrees with me. He's obviously being paid to disagree with me, because no one in their right mind would disagree with my niche viewpoint unless they were being paid or they were part of a conspiracy. So they create all these ridiculous conspiracies. Like, I used to get it as well. I used to get people saying, you're getting brown envelopes. I had like 12 people would watch a video and one person would come in and go, you're getting paid by the club. And I was thinking, God, really? Do you really? Oh, yeah, because I'm an influencer. I'm not even a nano influencer. Like, maybe Ian Wright is getting paid, but maybe Thierry Henry's getting paid. Maybe they're all getting paid. Maybe who cares? Maybe either agree with them or disagree with them. I don't agree with everything Ian Wright says. I don't agree with everything Tony Adams says, but I do believe that they're entitled to their opinion. What happened to the Arteta?
Did you ever see that video where flat earthers debunk their own theory with laser?
No. That's a did it with the gyroscope to watch the lean of the Earth. But the funniest moment in Behind the Curve, a film about flat earthers, is the two of them that are on their way to NASA to make fun of the rockets that are supposed to have gotten to the moon and all this, and they're on their way in Florida to Cape Kennedy, and they get lost, and the cameraman's in the back of the car watching these two idiots play with their sat nav, and I just thought, freeze, right? Just at that point I'd be like, you two flat earthers are using a satellite navigation system. Do you have any idea how stupid you seem right now? The fact that we have 3 orbiting satellites that you don't believe exist, and you're enough said. But the point is, and it's like this. I'm here for, and I make this point as well.
It's that recent film, sorry, Dan. Or...
It's a few years old now, but it's delving into the world of. It's brilliant. Behind the Curve. It's a really funny film, but that moment just ruins it, because if you argue with a flat earther and you get drawn into the way they argue, it's a bit like arguing with Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. He will say consistently the Premier League has fallen off, and then I have to come out with reasons I don't think the Premier League has fallen off. Whereas what we should really be doing is go, that's a really interesting opinion that I've only heard several thousand times from gloomier people. Can you give me a reason why you think that? And then he changes the subject again. And then he goes, well, it's just shit, isn't it? And you go, well, I don't know how much football you've watched or, how long you've been alive or anything else, but your opinion is precisely as important as everybody else's opinion. And it's not like we're short of them. I'm here at least partly. But we capitalised. I went to Cologne 20 years ago with my rugby club. It was a great time. It's a brilliant place. I really love it. I do really. I like parts of Germany. I think are fantastic. Some I haven't fallen in love with. Gary Wright was a deal with Arsenal and Adidas. He won't jeopardise his paycheck. I'm still a big fan, but I appreciate Adams voicing his opinions. Yeah, okay. Can I just ask you then, Jose, because he did walk his opinions back. At the start of the season, he said we'll never win the league with Odegaard as captain. And then last week, he was on TalkSport saying, or Sunday before, he was on TalkSport saying, you misunderstood me when I said that. And it's very hard for me to make that case if I was his defence lawyer going, Tony, we're on a bit of shaky ground here. What do you mean they misunderstood when you said they'll never win that? That's pretty self-explanatory. You were saying, no. But what I've said seems to have really helped Odegaard to progress, and now maybe it's because of what I said. It's okay to have an opinion, and it's okay to be wrong. That's the one thing I wish I could see more of. But anyway, the Prem has fallen off. There you go. Ryan, yes, it has, but for me, the Prem has fallen off. Instead of repeating yourself, just give me one reason you think that. We need Dauman, Aina Yandrup. There's a lot of it. I think I'm losing this battle, aren't I? You all want Dauman to play. Who would you drop?
Absolutely. I was going to string this on a bit more, actually, when you said no to Dauman. I think rather than playing him as maybe as a sub, but I think that initial period of him running at defenders, he gets lots of free kicks. He's definitely, obviously we don't know what he's going to be like after an injury at such a young age, but I think if that injury hadn't have impacted him, I think that plays a bit of the part of why Ethan went out on loan. And I think he'd win us a lot of free kicks, very direct, and set pieces, yellow cards to players early on in the game for a bursting Martin and Trossard. I think it'd be brilliant.
I think you can paint a picture of the future where he is brilliant. I still have this vision of Martinelli doing exactly what he did against Sunderland and just being free at the end of the game and running on the keeper. Or I have images of Kai Havertz winning us the Champions League. The reality, though, is that may all be for another season. I think there's a few of us probably agree that Ethan Nwaneri was our most direct player. He was the guy who just went for goal. I don't know why Arteta has his way of playing. We're going to love it or hate it. If he's successful, it'll be like George Graham and I'll go, fantastic. You know, if Chelsea fans can celebrate Jose Mourinho's park the bus, if we can celebrate George Graham, ultimately winning makes you celebrate things. But I don't think he's getting in the team unless you're talking about Wigan or players like that. And he's injured. And he's young. I've got socks older than Max Dauman. Come on. Spurs will just about survive. Jim West, 4060. Great to see you. Spurs will just about survive.
Were we supposed to talk about that, right? About Spurs.
There's no agenda here, right? We can talk about Spurs now if you want to. I like to talk about Spurs going down. If I'm honest, I don't think they will.
I wouldn't like them to be honest. I know that's a odd take, purely because I think we could.
Is it just for the 6 points every season? Is that what you're
Pretty
saying?
much, yeah. I think.
Are you worried that if they go down, we'll have to beat a proper team?
It'd be fascinating to. I don't know how. I'm not that invested. So, for example, for me, it's all about envisaging, manifesting that parade, opposed to even sinking my sights as low as Spurs down that end of the table.
No, I think I know. We've talked about this before. You know, I get it that people are Arsenal fans from all over the place. If you grew up in North London, you're cheek by jowl.
Yeah.
You went to school with them. You went to work with them. You got pelters off them every time anything happened. You know, you can't pop your head above. Like we lose the league and it's the Tottenham fans that the first ones going, you, and it's like, you know what, right? I take it from City, I take it from Liverpool, I take it from Man United, but how are we getting how is this club trying to banter us? And then when it comes to it, then I speak to fans from a different era and they say, do you know what, actually, or from a different location, if you're not from North London and you love Arsenal Football Club, you probably think, well, Man United are bigger rivals, Man City are bigger rivals now. And it makes no sense that we would care about Tottenham. It's just a location thing.
It's exactly that. I think you've hit the nail on the head there, because I don't think I can even name 5 Spurs fans I know. No,
that's it. And my God, how awful life can be. Like my uncle, before he went on the QE2 as a chef, he'd go on that boat for years, but he stopped off in England and he'd been working in Germany, and he said, oh, can we go to a match? And I was like, look down the schedule, and it just so happened that Arsenal were playing away, so I took him to a Tottenham game. Then 5 years later, he came back and he said, hey, I'm going to be in London for the weekend. Should we go and see a football match? And I was like, oh, you can't believe we're away again. He went, no, we're at home to Sunderland. And I was like, no, what? Hang on, Tottenham are at home to Sunderland. He goes, yeah, I'm a Tottenham fan now. I was like, oh, you have to be kidding me. This is my uncle. He's brilliant. He loves football. He's one of the reasons as a small kid I loved football so much. He's a Tottenham fan now. Two of my good friends who sadly are no longer with us were Tottenham fans. I have good and bad, but all I'm saying is I'd love them to go down. I'd need them to go down eventually.
Is the violence that bad at derbies and stuff like that? Would you say that?
It's not really about the violence, but like I can tell you, walking into the way end of a Tottenham game, you get hissed at, spat at. If you're in the wrong end, you will get someone. Because they hate us. I mean, they hate us. It's completely disproportionate. They hate us enough that they would probably get relegated to stop us winning the league. When you are surrounded by a club who hate, whether you know it or not, whether you appreciate it or not, whether you've experienced it or not, Tottenham fans hate us. They hate us. So I want them gone. And I love them. And I've got some really good friends to this day who are top. We just don't talk football. That's all you can do. Then, you know, I've had so many. It's not about. Spurs fans aren't bad people. Arsenal fans are good people. That's fairly obvious. We're all intelligent enough to realise that. But my God, when you choose to support Tottenham, you choose only the way of darkness. You choose only misery and envy. You choose only trying to take away the legs of. You know, it's like your next door neighbour's doing slightly better than you, so you try and you drive your car over his lawn or something. That's what Tottenham fans are. You know, they live in our shadow and they make it a messy, dark place. And I would rather they pissed off. But even in the Championship, if they start winning the Championship, they'll be talking about trophies. They are just shameless and awful. So I've got them a little rant there. Was the Premier League falling off when United were the top dogs? It does. The problem is I can't egg in coffee. Oh no, I've heard someone else mention that the other day. So unfortunately, Arteta doesn't like non-robotic techie ballers like Dan. I don't know if I'd ask you what Arteta likes. I'm not sure you're that smart.
Surely if you put an egg in coffee, it would just cook, wouldn't it?
No. It kind of emulsifies, but let's not, because that actually makes me want to retch.
I'm sorry on the point of making you retch. It's probably my last comment at the night's quite nearly start. But I saw a video earlier today of somebody putting in a cup of tea in the air fryer. And it was the most horrendous thing I'd ever seen. She had mouldy chips in the back and stuff like that. So apologies, landlord, for that.
No, that I can live with that. It's raw egg I can't do. But I don't know if you ever get, YouTube sends me these. I watch a lot of food stuff. I'm a food idiot. But there's this one woman and she was making a sausage sandwich and the bread had loads of blue mold on it. Ugh. And you're just like, you can see that, right? Like, and then she bites it. Oh, that's delicious. That's what I'm having for my tea, just to chip. Oh, sorry, things you just see on YouTube. Huh?
No wonder you're on a 3-day fast.
I'm telling you, avocados, eggs, and steak are getting dispatched tomorrow after a little bone broth. Didn't see you short. It was a short stream on Sunday because I was on my own, and the mood wasn't brilliant. And
I was in the comments actually, but But you didn't drop a. Actually, no, I was out, so I was
definitely did drop a link more than once because
you did drop a link, but I was
asleep.
Well, I was on my way back. Then you closed the show, so I was like, okay.
You know, you never have to apologize for not being on here, but I am always chuffed when you are. Like,
if people really want to have a laugh, you should go to Twitter right now and see how much they are clowning the United Strand guy. Like I think Borussia Dortmund.
He sent a brilliant one in a group chat of like it, the cousin it with all the hair. He said, "This is when." Can I just say, like, my comment on this was, I'm so sick of this guy grabbing 15 minutes of fame. Like, enough now, right? It's not how football works, but I genuinely think. The dressing room, United dressing room would be like, oh, this poor.
There are so many. Borussia Dortmund, there's Man City. They're all like, I think Troll Football put one out. They're just hilarious, like all clowning the. And the guy, he looked genuinely upset at the end of the match that obviously United couldn't win because now I think he starts the countdown all over again. But man,
it's 5. They've got to win 5 in a row, haven't they? But I mean, like, there's an Arsenal kid who's done it as well. It's probably Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. But he's gone, I'm not cutting my hair till we win a trophy. And this was in November. And you go, there aren't, what are you on about? There are no one's going to win no one's winning a trophy. What do you want to win? Do you know what I mean? Like, let's have a trophy for the stupidest comment. There you go. You've won. Now fucking cut your hair. I don't care what length people's hair is.
No, the last time I cut my hair was when we won the league. And it just never grew back.
Does he get coverage from the TV companies as well, this fella? Because I've not seen much of him.
I've seen photos, but he does. Yeah, he's
apparently
well.
like Manu, the Manu club give him a lot of coverage. Apparently, Carrick was supposed to cut it. There's like AI of actually cutting it on Twitter, but it's.
I said I'd cut it with a combine harvester. You can just piss off.
So I heard Carrick mention him today, and I've heard Skulls, but I didn't know it was that much of a bigger deal that it's taken over.
Yeah, it's a big deal now. Yeah,
it's a slow news season.
Yeah, I think I looked at his YouTube, and there's like this Spanish defender that played for Manu, Piqué. Piqué is
he was good.
So,
he was good.
I'm going to bid you all good night now, guys, because I've got.
Thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you on Sunday, if not before. Probably
absolutely will. Can I just
ask? Wait. But probably prediction for Thursday.
Yeah, you got to tell us. You got to let us know.
I'm going to predict a 2-0 win.
Solid.
Can I ask you all a question before I leave as well?
Yeah.
Can I ask Bobby a question before he goes?
Absolutely, my friend.
In fact, this for Dan and people keep moving, Benny as well. We've not had Saka or Odegaard. Are we missing them?
I wouldn't say we're missing them now, but I think we will do. I absolutely think we will do. I think if Odegaard comes back fitter, and I think that's all it does come down to is fitness. And I think Saka is that one player that can really. Saka is the equivalent of our informed Salah, even if he's disappeared. Well, I think he doesn't disappear because he covers so much in terms of defensive work. I think he's that clinical. I think you're always going to miss a Saka. And I think as good as we've been, I think Saka definitely is we've got Saka, Rice, Saliba, Gabriel. I think Supermendy's been great. Raya's been great. Timber's been great. It's shocking how many players are just reeled off as great players right then. That's why we win the league. But yeah, I think we miss Saka and Odegaard.
Yeah.
I think Havertz has been a huge plus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with you, but the only thing I'd say is with the versatility that you get, and Havertz again has come off a really long injury. Even though he's fit and performing right now, I think you need to be able to rotate at points like this. And I think Odegaard will. I think you'll have a huge say.
We need players to play against Wigan. I think you put it brilliantly. I think like Bukayo Saka, have we missed him against Sunderland, Leeds? No. But if you had the full squad to pick from Champions League final against Barcelona, you're putting Saka in that team, and I don't care. You might not put Odegaard in there, but you're definitely putting Saka in there.
And to be fair, Sunderland, Leeds, Brentford are probably the most physical games we will probably pay for this like bunch of games. So I think the reason why we've not missed them as much is because I think these are teams we would need to physically dominate. Leeds, the Sunderland, Leeds away, definitely a physical game. Sunderland home or away is going to be a physical game. Brentford is going to be a physical game. So I think we have the right team for it now.
I'm surprised to hear you say that about Brentford. I haven't seen that much of Brentford, but they look like a good transition side and they look solid. I don't.
That Brazilian striker they've got is scary, by the way.
Fancy
I remember.
The new one.
Thiago.
Thiago.
He's in my fantasy Premier League team.
I do know they are the long throw specialists with Coyote. So
do you know what? It would be just typical if they beat us with a long throw to a scrappy corner or something. I think the purpose.
Can we delete that from this stream? Dan. That comment.
No, the purpose of the Adams Arms is to be a hostelry for the hopeful, a place where people can go, and if we lose, not have everyone shouting into their camera, so that we can all go like you've all said it at one point or other. You know, like you lose, it's annoying, it's difficult, it's deflating. I mean, we lost to Man United on the day my beautiful nephew was born. He's beautiful. He's the light of the life. He's the best thing that's happened in our family, and yet I was like. Right, so that it matters. I'm not pretending it doesn't, but it shouldn't matter as much as it does. It's just we've given ourselves over to this. And if the worst happens against Brentford, somebody's got to open the pub up and go, do you know what, calm down, it's all right, it'll be okay. Because there's a million other places that are open for shouting and ranting and raving and nonsense. And if you need it, you can find it. What I think is we can all be pissed off and we can all complain, but we also go, all right, this is why you have a 6-point buffer, because, all right, we drew against Brentford away, fine, we move again, you know? And who knows, Fulham might draw against, City might draw against Fulham, or anything's possible. We could go into that game. Whatever happens, even if we're 9 points clear after this round of games, it's still not done yet. We can't get too excited, we can't get too despondent. That was my thinking.
Completely agree.
They took some flat earthers to Antarctica late 2024 to see a 24-hour sun epic. I just wonder how to explain it. It's like when you're talking to these people, they don't have ideas of their own. They just tell you, you think we're spinning around, do you? You think we're on a sphere? Yes, because every object we can see in the sky is a sphere. So we just thought, yes, this is probably a sphere. Oh, you believe that, do you? All right, yeah. What's
I
the
don't
opposite?
know which clip it is. Sorry, there's a great clip that I can't. I'm gonna have it ready. It's a flat Earth clip from a movie, and he goes, "The Earth's flat," and he goes, "Is it?" And there's something that it's away from me now. So
Just put a stick in the ground at noon, see where the shadow is, and then watch as the shadow changes, and explain that on a flat Earth. And you know the best explanation they have for the fact that I can phone up a friend in Australia and it's the middle of the day is go, yeah, but the sun's actually much closer than you think, and it's like, okay, if that's what you've got, that's fine. But how comes I can go to the BBC website right now on my phone and it'll tell me the exact moment it's going to get light tomorrow? How are they doing that? Oh, they're part of the conspiracy. So everyone's in this conspiracy? Do you know there's a Japanese weather satellite that takes 272 images of the Earth every single minute? Do you know what they say? Oh, they're fake. Do you know how much trouble you'd have to go to fake 272 images of a spherical Earth? Just for what? I don't know. Because Arteta's a fraud? Something like that? Probably. Those people have a point together. Don't know what that is on top. Is that your finger on top of your camera? I think it's looking like you're slowly descending it. So
oh, sorry, yeah, sorry.
I will leave. Look, there you go.
That wasn't the intention. I was just reading a comment that said Princess Diana in the chat, and I was trying to find where it originated from.
No spoilers. I think she's passed. The team's doing well,
Yes.
and the double backed a bit. He still didn't ask. Where are we at? Admit he was wrong about Odegaard. Also, the reason it seemed to fall in off the Premier League because it got so competitive, but it does seem a little bit, doesn't mean the Premier is any less meaningful. I don't care. I'm a fan of, what am I supposed to do? I like the Premier League. I don't watch any of the others. People keep telling me it's shit. All right. No one's making you watch it. Oh, now here we go. So the fact that all the teams have got to the worst level, which is why it's close, and this is just another theory. Can you give us a reason why you think stuff, or just how about be quiet for a bit? Stop typing. Give your keyboard a rest.
Does this mean that the whole of Europe have suddenly said, "Oh, let's start playing shit like they do in the Premier League"?
Yeah. Well, did you weren't here on Sunday, but I think he was, and that was a terrible state of affairs. But he was saying, oh, it's because they don't care about the European stages. It's like, yeah, I really saw that when Real Madrid were playing Benfica. I really saw they didn't give a shit. You know, I really, to be fair, you know, when they're playing us, they were like, "I don't want to win it this year. We won it last year. You win it. It doesn't matter to us." You know, like it's all this. If you haven't gotten, I get it. If you've sat down and you've come up with a hear me out, you know how much I love those guys. You know, if you guys have a take on football which is unusual and niche, I'm all for it because I believe that you would have sat down, thought about it, then said it. This guy hears it, says it, and then never gets around to thinking about it. So what am I interested in? Right, here's a Rosie, for the reason I ask is because you've just said if you play badly in England, you don't really get booed, but you've also said you've never been to a Premier League game. So how would you know? I know it's brilliant, isn't it? It's just if you don't, I can't do it. Chris Antonio, Dalman is still out injured. Listen to what Arteta says about him. He clearly rates him highly. Yeah, I think we all do. Hard not to. James Acaster. If you haven't seen him doing the Kettering FC chant, I've seen him do it live. It's incredible. I'll put a pin in that. That's a great comment. Rosie really knows her comedy. Rosie, my bad. A lot of people do that when you don't go to games. You mean and not a real fan? No. Anyone can be a real fan. You don't like. Some people just don't. I don't forget when the channel was new and we were talking. I was discussing. It was a video. It wasn't like a live or anything. I was just saying how disappointed I was to see so many empty seats at the end of the game. And a fan from South Africa came on and said, "I will never be able to go to a game. I'm not well off enough." So when I see it, it really kind of, it hurts me a bit because don't you realise how lucky you are to be there? And I feel that as well. But it's, I understand. Look, lots of fans go to every game and they're trying to beat the Holloway traffic and what have you. But it reminds you that when you travel and you see people, everybody loves this club, loves it in a really deep way. It's got nothing to do with whether you actually get to the game. For years, I didn't go to a game. I loved it just as much. That's a very, when people, like if someone does a quiz, who was the manager in 1963? Who played inside left? For if you don't get that right, you're not a proper fan. It's like, I'm not doing the Pepsi Challenge with that. I'm a proper fan because I love the club. I'm not questioning that in anyone.
I keep on saying I'm going to go, but it's my last comment before I do go. Would you think would any of you think this is a decent enough idea? So if somebody's leaving with 10 to 15 minutes to go, they could let somebody tag in for the last 10, 15 minutes. They can never see that last minute of the game or 5 minutes. I know it's logistically not possible.
No, it's not. It could happen. You just need a standing area, right? You need a terraced area like they do in some clubs now. You have an area where it's standing, and anyone who leaves that area, you can have young people outside come in. I would absolutely welcome that. I would welcome it because we've priced out the very future of the game. I know that now it's a global entity and people watch Arsenal from everywhere, but I used to walk to the ground, buy a ticket on a day and walk in. It never occurred to me that I couldn't go and see an Arsenal match.
Even if it's a sense of the end of the game when they walk over, even if they've lost, drawn, I'm sure that would mean a lot to the people of all ages and stuff like that.
It couldn't do any harm because your point's brilliant, by the way. I love it. I think it's a really good idea. And what's the worst that could happen? If no one wants to go in, there's no harm done, no foul. If there's 1,500 people want to get in, they can't anyway. But like if some local young people want to go and see the last 10 minutes of the game or see the atmosphere, I don't know. And then you could always do something before the game. I want to see more occasions where they just drop the prices for, even if it's for under 15. So just go like, if you're under 15, come get a membership, come get a stamp every time you come to try and get in, and we'll give you a free ticket every now and again, because football is more than business, or we wouldn't all be this obsessed with it, would we? None of us are watching football because we really want to make sure Stan Kroenke gets another dollar, Well, at least I'm speaking for myself. I don't. Maybe Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. You've been absolutely superstar, Bobby. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
been
guys.
Outstanding.
Have a lovely, lovely evening, and I hope to, when I watch the remainder of the show, that you do a Brentford predicted 11.
Yeah, I'm going to do my prediction for the 11, but I'm also going to say like if we lose or draw to Brentford, the pub is open. I'm probably going to come in on Thursday night, just at least briefly, just to make sure everyone's all right and they're not losing their shit. But I'm going to go for it. I think the 2-0 is a really solid prediction. 2-0 Arsenal. But you've been absolutely brilliant. Thanks for being on, man.
Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Zanzi. Thank you, Dan. Take care.
Yeah.
Good audio as well.
Unbelievable. We've gotten used to such bad audio. See ya.
I know.
I was genuinely thinking about how do we send him a microphone. It's working. Rosie's not an honorary gooner. She wouldn't accept the title, but she is the moderatrix. I so enjoyed the madness today. It made me smile. It's so good, isn't it? Right, let's see how many. There's not that many comments. I can get through some of these. Don't forget the old Bob Monkhouse gag when I first said I wanted to be a comedian. Everyone laughed. Well, they're not laughing now. I use that all the time. It is an absolute classic. And didn't know Rosie was into comedy. What's the funniest joke you've ever heard? I can't tell the funniest joke I've ever heard, but
no.
Okay, so we have a couple of options now. Let's all laugh at Tottenham. Let's look ahead to Brentford. Let's cry about the fact that City are resurgent. What's the appetite?
Right, City are not resurgent. Tottenham are useless. It's going to be a tough game against Brentford, but we still beat them 2-0.
Like the whole thing about the YouTube thing, though, is you want to keep them watching as long as you've just kind of. That's it. We're done. Thank you for joining. Next week we'll be talking about how to solve the problems in Palestine, and I'm going to go.
This
get
is
some help.
sponsored by Lucid.
Oh, I'm gonna send you a little clip. I made a little Pritt stick advert, but I made a little clip of a Pritt stick that I thought you'd really find funny from our previous discussions on it.
It's not in situ, is it?
No, it's nothing as saucy as that. Don't worry about it. So Benny, you've come out with a prediction for Brentford. You're not worried, are you?
No, of course I'm worried, but I think we'll have that game 3-1. I'm going to go for 3-1.
So I haven't asked you, Zanzi. What's your prediction for the game?
No, I've already said it. It's either going to be 2 or 3-0 to us.
Okay. So we're all kind of doing this. Let's in the comments, guys. Can you? Is there anyone who thinks that? Because I am really worried about this game. I know that
I'm worried as well.
Yeah, this is such a good Brentford side at the moment.
They're on good form. I think the last time we played them, they played a weakened team. He's quite a pragmatic manager. I think he tends to kind of look at his fixtures and kind of like, okay, these are the games I can win and I'll have a good go, and these are the games I will kind of not have as much as a go. Yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting game because this time they are at home. Yeah. But I still think from what we did against Sunderland, I was very impressed.
Yeah, Leeds away was good as well. I mean, the thing is, you look at Brentford and you see that they played 90 minutes against Villa and half of that down to 10 men and still beat Villa.
Yeah.
At in Birmingham. Have I actually,
Villa Park?
Yeah. I forgot the name of the. I've been there as well. Isn't that awful?
What's Everton's stadium?
Kenry. I don't know. I have totally forgotten. It's going to give me like 5 years to work out. What's the Tottenham stadium called?
Shite Hart Lane.
3 Point Lane. What do you think of Tottenham? Shit. I still have friends send me that every now and again. Yeah, exactly. It's just my favourite chant. It's just so silly when you take people to football who haven't been before. You go, what do you think of Tottenham? Shit. And it's like, what's the bit at the end where you go, thank you, that's all right. Right, Tottenham.
I like it when the fans are outside the stadium and you get some young little kid. What do you think of Tottenham?
Yeah, that happened on the way out of the League Cup game, and some little kid was going, "What do you think of Tottenham?" And all the grown-ups going, "Shit." Mm-hmm. What do you think of shit? Tottenham. Thank you. That's all right. Yeah. It's a thank you that's the best bit of it.
Yeah. I like the bit. It's not just a thank you. So that's all right.
Yeah. It doesn't stop. It was like it. Yeah, it's brilliant. I guess I really like your point, Benny, about like he's very pragmatic. I don't think he was expecting to win the game against Newcastle. I can't decide if it was Newcastle being crap or if it was Brentford.
Yeah.
Because Newcastle are at the moment, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They're not doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to get relegated, but they're only just above Sunderland, and Sunderland have a game in hand. So Sunderland could finish in their first season back in the Premier League, could finish above Newcastle. That's how bad Newcastle are doing, and that's going to hurt them. Eddie Howe's been talking about when I don't feel like I can add anything to this team, I quit. Because I've been thinking, don't want to see him sacked, but I've been thinking, how's he not under any pressure? They have a really good season, and they get a season where they're in Europe and they fall apart. Then they have another really good season, and they have a season when they're in Europe and they fall apart. And they're not making the progress you'd expect the world's richest club to be making, are they?
And also, Voltemada's goals have dried up seemingly. So Yeah, that's
Why? There's another thing. Like, no one's having a conversation about Voltemada. No one's having a conversation about Erling Haaland. I mean, I'd be silly to talk about him. He's already got 20 goals this season. But
No one's having a conversation about Gyökeres and the fact that he's the leading goal scorer in the Premier League 2026.
yep.
if you draw an arbitrary line in 2026, and then you say, yeah, in this period. But you know, to be fair, I've been doing that all afternoon. I put together the results, and I was saying, yeah, everyone wants to talk about Man City. You're going to go on a 10-game winning run. They've won 2 of their last 7. It's also true that I can't necessarily see where they're going to drop points, but I couldn't see where they have dropped points. So I thought Erling Haaland looked good in setting up Bernardo Silva. He was always going to score the penalty. But you're going to need more from him. And that conversation's, you know, like you said earlier, Benny, like some of the new Man City fans were already talking about dropping Erling Haaland. Just buy us another one. They think that's how it works. Don't forget the old... Oh, yeah, I've just read that one. There's no problem. I'm just enjoying the ride. We can nitpick some things, but the same lens applied to other managers would have had them failing. Let's do a players quiz in 1898. No, let's not. Spurs are so bad, it's funny. Imagine if we win the league plus they go down. I'm dreaming it, not imagining it.
I think I actually disagree with you. I think there's a possibility they could go down.
No, it's a possibility.
When the Champions League kicks in. So they will have the Champions League.
Can you imagine if they win the Champions League and get relegated?
Yeah.
And I
think they're still in the FA Cup, no? Or have they been
No.
I don't think they're in the FA Cup.
I can check.
Yeah. But I know they are definitely in the Champions League, so that's going to kick in. And their squad is not the...
No, their next game now is us, so they're out of the FA Cup.
They're big. The squad is not even that big. And then the second thing is the games. I've looked at the games they had, and they are not all winnable games. They're very tough games. I think they have Liverpool.
Yeah, Spurs. But if you look at Spurs,
they have Liverpool. They have Liverpool. They have us.
Palace, Liverpool, Forest. Villa. All these games look tough.
Yeah, they're very, very tough games. So
how many games have they won at home in the calendar year 2020?
Have they won any? I don't think they've won any. Maybe one.
I'll tell you actually. I can have
Who's that? Tottenham.
Season. Yeah, Spurs have won at home 2 games out of 13 this season.
Wow.
They have a -2 goal difference at home this season. They're better away. That's, you know.
Yeah, they are better away.
And that's the team that Man City drew to. Come on, do me a favour. We need to spend a while laughing at Tottenham. You're 100% right. Let's do it. Let's just laugh at Tottenham, right? Has Thomas Frank been sacked yet? I haven't looked at the news since I've been on.
I think we will sack him. I think they will play us.
He isn't getting to the Arsenal match. Do you think he's getting to the Arsenal match?
Well, no. Well, they drew against City, so he still has that leverage. I think he's gonna what is gonna happen is we want to sack you, and then he's gonna be like, but I drew 2 twists against City, and then they'll be like, fair enough.
Tottenham always win or draw against City. That's not new. Like every manager.
Yeah, but it's still an achievement, no? It's still something.
I think if you did a poll of the Spurs fans who were in that stadium.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So normally, if all of your fans in the stadium want you sacked.
Yeah, they should fire him, but he still has some.
I think it's the kindest thing you can do to any Spurs manager. You know.
I mean, not
the kind
before
of thing
the
you do
Arsenal
to any
game,
Spurs player. Like, look at how well Spurs, Luka Modric, Harry Kane. Look at these players. They leave and they do amazing things. Gareth Bale. Let them go. Set your players and your manager free.
I mean, not before the Arsenal game, no. You want...
Well, you know what's really interesting? What's his name? Brian Mason, who was perennially coming in. He came in after, as soon as a manager sacked him, wheel out Ryan Mason, and he has the worst record as a caretaker manager. I did a joke about him, which is he's the worst caretaker since Jack Nicholson in The Shining. And he got sacked by West Brom, I think, couple of months ago, so he's free. So they could just bring him back in.
We could do a triple on Spurs this year, couldn't we? We could, in fact, a quad. Yeah, that's it. It's a quad. We beat them all at home. We beat them away. We get their manager sacked, and we win the Champions League and the FA and the League Cup. So
that's a quintuple now.
Quintuple, yeah.
What else can you possibly say to Tottenham fans who are so they turned up to watch Man City cheering, the opposition. It's already the worst, most diabolical fan base in the history of football.
Yeah,
I say that.
Good luck getting back into the Premier League.
Yeah, good luck indeed. It's not
Yeah.
easy. As somebody who's been following the Championship a little bit, because I wanted to see Hull do well, and Anthony's Bristol City buggered that up. But no,
Middlesbrough are doing well, aren't they?
I really, I hope we have time over the next couple of weeks to talk about the tactics at Middlesbrough, because I think it's really fascinating, and it's an antidote to the very structured kind of football that we play and City play, and the change is coming. I thought it was going to be Fluminense, but it didn't work out for them.
I was thinking, when was the last time you had all three of those northeastern sides in the Premier League?
I can't, not in my life. Well, I don't remember it. Sunderland were out of it for that long. Before they were, Middlesbrough were out of it. I think Newcastle were out of it last time Sunderland and Middlesbrough. I don't think I can remember it. It's a great quiz question. Can someone get in the comments? I'll tell you who'll know this. Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC, because it's the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Good for you, man. It's good. You are useful. Bert Croatia, Tom Segura.
You just pushed back your invisible glasses, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a nice little... There you go, sir. Someone started the "What We Do Think of Tottenham" chant in Cornwall at a festival. That was brilliant. I love it. Nice mixtape. I was impressed watching Brentford down to 10 men for almost 70 minutes and beat Emery's Villa. Yeah, it was a good... Because it was a good performance. And I don't think they looked like they were going to lose at all. I mean, I think Villa are just knackered and tired. And you take Brendan Rodgers out of that side, I don't think they're even in... They're going to finish in the top. I don't think they're going to finish in top 4 as it is, honestly. Where are we? Tom Segura's sledgehammer tour. His hit about megadosing his mum. I'd watch that. I keep looking for a kung fu movie I watched as a kid. It had bikers. I'm sure that doesn't narrow it down. Is it Bruce Lee? Because there is the one in Italy where... Oh, it's not bikers, though. They're chefs. What am I talking about?
I mean, it all depends when Boy 10 was a kid. Because for me, you're talking 60s, 70s. For Boy 10, it could be
Did they do
5 years ago.
Movies in the 90s? Like, do you remember that? What was his name? Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah. Yeah. There's a really great T-shirt I saw, which I always quote, which is, "I refuse to believe everybody was kung fu fighting." It just summed it up brilliantly. Ed, what was his name? Ed Star? No, maybe I'm wrong. Have a good show. Come on, you gunners. Right. Take care, Gary. Let's do a comedy night. Shout. Good idea. We can do that. It's a pub. We can do whatever we want.
Will I be allowed to tell my jokes?
Nope.
Okay.
Not even a little bit. Nope. Sometimes people are so gloomy about this, worrying about City have some balls and belief in your club. Yeah, true that. But you're allowed to worry. You're allowed to be... It's like exam sweats, isn't it? You could have studied, revised, done everything you can, and when you're waiting for the results, you're allowed to a little bit of anxiety. It matters. I can only be honest. If I was sitting here thinking, "Oh, we'll batter Brentford," I'd say. But there is a huge bit of me that is just like, "Oh, I'm going to have to nurse this fan base through like the teething stage of, oh my God, we've blown it now. We're still 3 points ahead. No, City, you're going to win every game." No, they're not going to win every game. Nobody wins every game. The ones I've heard of, I like Bill Burr, Chappelle, Pryor. Yep. There is only one Bill Hicks, of course. At the moment, I'm hooked on Ramesh Ranganathan's podcast. I love that podcast. The one he did with Paloma Faith, absolutely brilliant. Bill Burr is funny. Come on, don't be silly. I possibly vibe with that too much. Also love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think Dan, I've told him he looks like Norm Macdonald. I take that as a great compliment. And one of my favourite jokes I tell people at work when they're a bit pissed off is a Norm Macdonald one, which I will save up for when we do a comedy night, because it's absolutely brilliant and it's just ridiculous. But it's Norm Macdonald. I went to see the Blues Brothers on stage. One of the best things I've ever seen. Yeah. Curb or Blackadder. 90s, I was still a real kid. Would be great to go back with the knowledge I have today. Would take over the fucking world. And what would you do with the world? Who wants the world? I'm still going to watch Catastrophe. Haven't. So we've kind of agreed that Tottenham. Just so that I know, Zandy, do you not? Could they? Obviously, I know they could. Do you think Tottenham are going down?
Sadly, no.
All right.
I think they've got a little bit too much not to go down.
I don't know. You know, they're not. They're the least informed team of all the bottom teams. I mean, apart from Burnley and Wolves, I don't think. Benny, are they going down?
I don't know. I think I agree. I think if West Ham had won today, I would have said yes, because yes, West Ham they're really coming, right? So, but I don't know. It all depends on West Ham because they can drag them in. It really depends on West Ham.
The goal difference is where normally, it's boring, but normally if you look at goal difference, it kind of tells you a story. If you look at the teams in the bottom, you might say, "Oh, we're Tottenham are dragged in it," but their goal difference is -1 and West Ham's is -17.
Although I'll tell you what, I don't know if I would rather Nottingham Forest get relegated than Tottenham. Just because I don't like how Sean Dyche plays. I don't like how he played against us. He just parked the bus football and no other thing else.
You can't be doing that. No,
I
Tottenham.
don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you're a manager in the Premiership, you need to have something. This is why I really like the Sunderland manager.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
You need to have something else about you. You can't just be like Sam Allardyce football from.
Sam Allardyce gets a lot of shit. He's actually quite a progressive coach. I'm not.
It's just I just don't understand this parking the bus football and not having anything else. I understand as a weak team, you need to defend for your lives. But when you come against your the Wolves or the West Hams, you need to have something else about you. And I think this is what is wrong with Tottenham now. Thomas Frank plays like he's still in Brentford when he should he should look for a different style of football for those guys.
Yeah. It's I could never have predicted how bad Thomas Frank's reign at Tottenham would be. I looked at it. I have a lot of respect for Xavi Simons. I think Matthias Tell was a good player. There's Paulinho is a fantastic player. Across the pitch, they have Van de Ven's a great defender. Vicario.
They have a World Cup winner on their squad.
Yeah.
Well,
not anymore they don't.
Yeah. They have really good players. They should not be in that position.
No, and I think Destiny Adogi, maybe not this season, but he's looked really good in the past. They've got the Gray, they've got good players in there. There's something cursed and wrong about that club fundamentally, but I don't know really what to make of it because you're saying Thomas Frank is playing like he's still at Brentford. I don't know what they're playing like. I watched them in the game tonight, and I just thought, what are you trying to do? What's the plan? And I'm not tactically astute, so it could be a really good idea, and I just missed it. But I think there's a point where tactics and how you play and everything just takes a massive second to the mood of that club. If you think shit's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong, and it's going wrong. And they clearly they didn't respect Conte, they didn't respect Mourinho, they didn't respect now if you look at it, I do think that Nuno Espirito Santo is going to finish above Tottenham. Right?
Yeah,
West Ham. So if it comes down to West Ham do go on a massive run of games, they've got energy behind them now. They've won 3 of their last 5, which is not shit at all, right? West Ham 1 defeat in 5, Tottenham 3 defeats. So no wins. So on points tally, they are starting to catch them. If there's 13 games left, you know what we're saying about winning the Premier League? There's still 13 games left. Relegation with 13 games left. I saw somebody saying, no, Tottenham have almost enough points to avoid relegation this year anyway. I think, no. I think till you get to 40, you're never confident.
Yeah, no.
I know in the recent years, it's been more 35, 36 has kept you safe. But when there's a team as bad as Wolves, the split of points gets spread amongst 18 or 19 teams. I think you could be looking at, this could be the year Tottenham go down.
But Wolves and Burnley are dead anyway. They're both buried. West Ham have got 12 games left. Forest have got 13 games left. Tottenham have only got 12 games left.
Yeah, it's 5 points is a difference between Tottenham and West Ham. But then let's assume, which is fair to assume, that the bookies Opta, everybody with any brains is right, and Arsenal beat Tottenham. Okay? At the point Arsenal beat Tottenham, Tottenham are still on 29 points. Forest could overtake them tomorrow. West Ham could theoretically be 2 points away from Tottenham. I don't think they play each other anymore. But yeah, I think it could happen. I'm dreaming it. Never give up your dreams. Friday night dinner is still up there. I love space. Space, no one talks about it anymore. It's brilliant. I would make Sunday ice cream day globally. Everyone would be happy. I would even sanction research to make the lactose-free ice cream actually tasty. Just calorie-free ice cream. If you can do that, I'll make you president of the world. Ricky Gervais on the Ramesh Ranganathan podcast. I saw a little bit of it. It was very funny. Countries that don't have ice cream have ice cream airdropped on Sundays. Are there countries that don't have ice cream? There should be a charity for those countries. Thanks, Rosie. I'll check that out. Where are we up to? It's metaphysics, the physics of people. If energy around the club is that things will go wrong, then at some point it's going to go wrong. You must have faith. Faith is the word of the season. Guys, But do you know what? It's a cliche. You hear so many football cliches. It's the hope that kills you. Nope. No, it isn't. When you give up hope, you are Spurs. I generally don't find acerbic comedy funny. I like. Do you not like Frankie Boyle then? John Bishop. We are coming to a natural end, guys. Should we go through who we think will start against Brentford? Do you have any strong opinions on it? It seems like it's going to just take care of itself. No.
Same team who went out the last 2 games, basically.
A few tweaks here and there. I love Hincapié. Kai Havertz starting seems to be a thing that he's doing more and more of. I'm not in a rush to see Odegaard dragged back, but I do think if Odegaard gets enough time on the sidelines, he will have an impact on this season still.
I think Saka or Odegaard one of them might be back. So I think maybe one of them, the other one starts against Wigan.
Well, no, you can't play Saka against Wigan. That's ridiculous.
Well, somebody needs their fitness because both of them will.
They against Wigan. You're not playing against Wigan. That's. We have so many players. Trossard's out. Saka. This is the latest information I have, but it isn't always right.
Yeah.
So. Obviously, Mikel Merino's out. Max Dowman's still out. Martin Odegaard is still out. Leo Trossard's out. Bukayo Saka's out.
I heard Trossard had a cramp. That was from Hand of Arsenal.
Okay. See, now Hand of Arsenal is someone I would expect to get it right, so fair enough. But I think against... I don't know. I'm not even going to begin. I definitely want to see Norgard play against Wigan, for God's sake. Give the guy a game. Zuberman. So I would guess if Saka's out, then we're looking at a back four, probably. I mean, I don't know, Calafiori or Hincapié. I really like Hincapié.
I think Hincapié, but I think Calafiori is the first choice, and I think Arteta really wants him to get back to where he was at the start of the season, because we will need him at that form when we face like the big City and Chelsea and Tottenham. Like Calafiori is a game changer, and we need him like ready. He didn't have a good game against Sunderland, but he just needs his match sharpness back.
I think it's about Coyote, isn't it? I've liked the look of him on that side. We've got a couple of players to look out for: Itara, Coyote, obviously Thiago. I think we own the midfield and we might shut them down, but they're so good transitionally. And I think Hincapié for me is less likely to be out of position. It's just much of a muchness, so I don't know. I think he could well start Calafiori because I think he's number one left back. Jurriën Timber, I still think needs a break, but he's had a bit of a rest now, so maybe he's good to go.
Yeah, I think Timber starts. I think literally the anybody who doesn't start this game can start Wigan. Yeah,
Talking
just
about Wigan, I'm playing. Did you know? I'm playing. Fuck it. I'm out. I'm goalkeeper.
don't
and I'm striker.
underestimate Wigan.
Oh, don't please.
If we lose to
Imagine
Wigan,
that. Oh,
if we lose to Wigan,
imagine that. Like,
don't
imagine a
come on
world.
Sunday. The show will be.
No, I will do a forfeit.
Maybe
of
Zanzi
two-
will host the show then.
Yeah, Zanti will have to because I'll be hanging my head in shame. Listen, there have been. Can you imagine this though? We win the League Cup by beating Manchester City comprehensively. We win the league because City fall apart, and we somehow win the Champions League, but we didn't win the quad because we lost to Wigan at home. That's just not happening.
Oh, the Wigan fans are going to love it, aren't they? Yeah, we beat the European champions.
Yeah, you'll never sing that.
Yeah.
I don't know a single Wigan player, and I can't even like.
I don't think Wigan have won in their last 6 games.
They've got a manager. To be fair, they've sacked their manager. They can't be doing that well.
Yeah, I mean, but when we were going to play against them in the FA Cup, when it is drawn, I think they were just below mid-table.
They're
And now they're
relegation.
They're relegation,
behind
yeah.
Burton. Like I would guess that most die-hard Arsenal fans who love Arsenal passionately from other countries have never heard of Burton. You have to be a supremely you have to have played a lot of Football Manager or something, because like some of these teams people will not have heard of. Wigan Athletic maybe, because obviously they've been in finals, but no to Wigan.
Yeah, they've had 5 defeats and 1 draw in the last 6 games.
Yeah, that's right.
Doncaster Rovers.
Yeah, and the draw was 5 games ago, so they've had 4 defeats in a row.
3 according to this.
No, it's 4 in a row. They lost to Reading. They lost to Peterborough 6-1. They lost to Lincoln, and they lost to Wickham. That's the last 4 games.
Are they all league games?
Yeah, it's all in League One. Yeah.
All right, so BBC have fucked up again. Good old BBC.
Reading was on the 10th. Peterborough was on the 7th. 31st of January was the Lincoln game, and they. I mean, this is Tottenham settings. They've conceded 8, 9, 11 goals in the last 4 games against League One opposition. I think we score against them. I'm just putting it out there. They have a minus 11 goal difference in League One.
You only think.
What do you mean? I think I'm sure. You can't. Like, I'm a sports bettor. I know that you can never be sure about anything. I've done silly amounts of money on absolute sure bets that didn't come in. Good Christmas. What are you talking about? Christmas movie? So I think we're up to, against Brentford, the midfield of Zubimendi, who I can't believe how many people still don't rate Zubimendi.
I know, crazy.
What do you want him to do? Like, seriously, that opening goal against Sunderland was the difference, because that could have been a very nervy game. Sunderland are not bad. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Sunderland get a draw at the Etihad?
Yeah, it's funny actually, because one of the other YouTubers, he said one word to describe Zubimendi's goal, and I said surgical.
It's a really good goal. It was really good.
Surgical is a good way of putting it. Yeah. And it was a really nice layoff to him as well by Trossard. So you kind of want against. I think. I don't know. Actually, we'll get to the forwards. But so Zubimendi, Havertz, and Rice. Are you all right with that? And then up front, you've got to have Madueke. You've got to have
Gyökeres.
I don't want to start Jesus anymore.
I don't know. I feel like this coming in role for Gyökeres is really doing something. All these like tired defenders just getting this Swedish bull after
but I mean it's a really good point, because if you look, you're not going to bring on Jesus and have the same impact. Jesus at the start of a game, he keeps the ball moving, he recycles it well. He's tricky and he'll occupy them. I don't know. I think I would still start Victor Gyökeres, because I think that there may be space if Brentford come at us. But your point earlier about how he's been very careful what games he puts all his energy into. I think that resonated with me, honestly. But I think when you're 7th in the league and you're joint 6th in the league with Liverpool, and you're chasing down Brentford, are chasing down a European place, which, let's face it, is career defining for him, then you can't really. I mean, I didn't know much about Keith Andrews at all. I just, I know he's very popular amongst Brentford fans. I don't know who the hell he was. In his first season, he's doing an Arnie Slot, really, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. I think the only reason why I say that is because remember when they played us in the Emirates, he rested about four guys because I think the match in the Emirates was on the Thursday, and the more important match against Spurs was on the Saturday. He won that match.
Are you talking about this season? You're talking about
it was
this
this
season. 2-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
He brought them back against Spurs, and then he beat Spurs, and now he has the FA Cup. And they've had a really hard game against Villa. I'm not sure he will start. Maybe, but I'm not sure he's going to start all his main guys because
I think
they play the Villa game and the FA Cup game to me would be the more important games. But he might want to have a go at Arsenal, maybe 45 minutes. If we go 2-0 up, I think he's pulling his start. He's pulling his players.
I think because it's Macclesfield that they've got in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I don't think Brentford need to worry about Macclesfield. So and your point about them come to the Emirates, Thiago was on the bench, but he still came on. They brought on all the players. I don't know. I think Brentford are a really good side, but that's because I watched their last 2 games at Villa Park and St James's Park. Was it St James's? No, who else did they beat? So St James's Park. Because that was a class for me. That was a great game, and I really like watching Bournemouth, and I really like watching Brentford. And I didn't watch the 2 games before where they lost at home to Forest, and where they, and so that would make me confident because if you're losing at home to Forest, but you beat Villa were knackered. Right, Villa against Brentford, it just felt like it was that weekend where they just couldn't get going, and it had all come to losing at home. Then you see 1 or 2 of the Villa fans furiously angry with Unai Emery, and you think, see. But I think it'll be close because all the games will be close now. All the games will be tense. All the games will be nervous.
There's also a thing somebody mentioned. I think after this month, we don't go out of London.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Thank you, because I keep forgetting that. If you're looking ahead at the fixtures, Pep Guardiola is always complaining about having to come to London. He's always complaining. 2 years ago he said travelling to London was like travelling to Northern Europe, right? Which is patently not the case. It's just not the case. But yes, Arsenal. We looked this up on that. Was it last? I can't remember when it was now. Last Tuesday, Sunday, it wasn't
Tuesday.
Yeah, so we looked, and what was there's 2 games that Arsenal play outside, isn't there? There's Wolves, and I'm just looking to find the other one because I've totally forgotten it again. Oh, Man City. There you go. So we go to Man City and we go to Wolves. That's the last time we leave the southeast. You can count Brighton as, someone said to me, but Brighton's not in London. Yeah, but it's an hour and a half drive in a coach. You're still getting home. I think that's going to play a part. I think we get to be at home. We get to play at home, and when we're not at home, it's a short drive across London, or at least southeast.
It's not like slogging up the M6 to Newcastle, is it?
And I think that makes a difference. If you win a game, you hang around in the dressing room earlier. If you lose a game, if you've got to go back, if for Manchester City, let's say, when's their next trip down south? Obviously not. How did they get Salford in the FA Cup, by the way? Fucking just piss off. But yeah, like there's when they have.
Is
to
that
come
Gary
to
Neville's team?
Yeah.
Salford.
Yeah.
I'd laugh my head off if Salford beat them.
I'd love it if we beat you. I'd love it if I put a bet on that. You'd probably retire on it, but Man City Leeds is not a big deal. Forest is not a big deal, but they do go to West Ham. and
That's
it's
that's a tough game. West Ham are
if
fighting.
yeah, if
West
you're
Ham are
looking at
fighting.
teams that are fighting relegation, you don't
Yeah,
want to play
West
them.
Ham are fighting. They're gonna.
They go Burnley. They have to go away to Burnley, which, fair enough. They go to Everton, which is never an easy game. I wouldn't fancy it.
No,
So
Everton have to come to us, I think, as well. At some
but
point.
there's also just the fact that then, I mean, who's their best centre back partnership? Because I know Gahey's brilliant and he's settled in just like everyone expected him to.
Diaz is back though. Diaz is
He
back
came
now.
on. He came on against Liverpool, but he's obviously not fully fit. And I have no idea how. I mean, Kuzanov was apparently fine, no head injury. Pep Guardiola said today he's definitely fit. But that's your best centre back pairing, Gahey and Kuzanov. They've got a lot of travelling to do.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I think who was saying it. Whether I think maybe it was Henry. I can't remember, but it was an ex-player saying how difficult it is to go to somewhere like Newcastle, 12:30 kickoff. Like get up get up in the morning or go there the night before.
You gotta go night before, yeah.
Yeah, go there the night before. Get ready because normally games are free, so they have their pre-game walk. So when you're doing it at 3:00, it's a lot easier. But when you're doing it at 12:00, you have to get up like 9 or 10, do your pre-game walk then, and then go to the stadium. So it's
hear me out on that would be let's get rid of the 12:30 kickoffs because you never get as good football at 12:30.
No, most of the time.
So none of the players like it. Night games, yes, all the time, but 12:30 kickoffs are never great games. You hate it when Arsenal. If it's a home game, fine, but if we've got to play at Newcastle at 12:30, it's just such a shit show. Like it's a terrible time to But then football is about selling as many tickets. Carl S was saying, who doesn't rate Zubi? Oh, I could name a few. That don't rate him. I don't know why. There's just an antipathy towards him. Glazers out. Fan, I'm back. Did you miss me? Yes, of course, always. Listen, I think I'm opening on Thursday night just because it'd be great to celebrate. We've stretched our lead over Man City to 6 points. I want to see that narrative all over the place.
6.
Yeah, I think they'll beat Fulham. I think they'll beat Fulham. That's my feeling.
Tomorrow, everybody's gonna go bonkers. Oh my God, we lost.
They've reduced it to 3 points.
The Sharks are coming.
The Sharks. And then you just. But this is where it comes down to, because you could, for all the people who go bottle jobs and have really high standards for other people and say, if it was me in that dressing room, I'd be steely and determined. It's like, no, you wouldn't. You'd be like every other human being. You're up against it. If Man City put in a convincing performance against Fulham and beat them 4-0, you start to think, oh God, are they starting to believe? And we've got to go to Brentford, and Brentford's a tough game. And let's be honest, we've got some tough games coming up.
To be fair, it's still a 6-point deficit. It's still not. It's still a big good. It's a good gap. It's not like a deficit, but it's still a two game swing. So we have lost.
What some of the fans are saying. All right, I call them fans, but the guys that like Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC, who go, we should be 15 points clear. Like, that's a thing that usually happens in Februari. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can remember loads of seasons where a team won the league by 25 points. It happened. It's a disgrace if it doesn't happen. But we all want the league to be outdone now. We want Man City to capitulate. We wanted them to lose to Liverpool. We want all that. But even if they lost to Liverpool, even if it was a 9-point lead, you can't rest on your laurels. The team still has to be up for it. They still have to. And this is where we find out if they had the character or not. Because... who was it? Dortmund. Was it 2 years ago where Bayern Munich was supposed to lose the Bundesliga on the last day? And was it Dortmund that absolutely flopped it at home to Mannheim? No, who was it? Mainz, I think it was.
Mainz, yeah.
Yeah, it just can happen. It just can happen. For us as Arsenal fans, of course, it's unthinkable, because if it happens now, you just go, right, I've had enough of this. Like, I can't come second 4 years in a row. It's just not from this position.
Well, Dan, so the thing is, we lost last year. We lost 4 games, right?
No, I think maybe
4. Yeah, we did. Last year we lost 4 games.
in total. Yes, 14
Yes.
draws. Yeah.
The year before that we lost 5. This year we've lost 3.
Yeah.
So for City to overtake us now, we need to lose 2. We need to lose 2, right?
Well,
Or 3.
the whatever the stats tell you, that there's only one season in the Premier League history where the winning team has lost 7 games.
So I just don't
City
see
have
us-
lost 5. So like the theory there would be they can't lose 2 more games from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, which is fair. I just don't see us losing more than 3 games. So it's just we need to not draw. That's what, because
So-
we love draws. That's what we
yeah.
we love to
But
draw.
this season it has been much better for that. We've
Yeah.
drawn 5.
Yeah.
So if you're basing it on what's happened so far, you'd have to say, well, here's a really simple way of doing it. We are on Man City have so far in the 25 games, they've got 2 points per game. So if it continues as the first 25 games are, they will finish on 76 points. That being the case, we only need to win 7 more of our remaining 13 games. So we can lose 6 from here and win 7 and still beat them on the way they've performed so far. What everyone will tell you, of course, is, but Man City have woken up and they always have a good, strong end to the season. You think, when you say they always have a good, strong end to the season, you mean Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan and John Stones and Riyad Mahrez and Jack Grealish, and those are the players that always had a good, strong. We don't know that about these players yet. We don't know that Doku's going to have a good end to the season. I don't know what's happened to Phil Foden. Is he in the cellar with you, Zanzi? Because he was the messiah, and now they've gone and bought Semenyo.
I have a Man City friend who's a fan, a Man City fan who's a friend. He absolutely hates Phil Foden when he comes on. But maybe he's in the cellar with you, Zanzi. Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, he's not in there. I wouldn't allow him.
He's just, you look at him. I still look at him and think, oh, he's young. He'll get. He's 25. He's 25.
I can remember Pep about 4 years ago saying that he's really rating up Foden, saying that he would love to have a team of 11 Fodens playing for us. I was thinking, great, because he'd be shit in goal, he would be shit in defence, and pretty shit everywhere else, actually.
He does have his. He's like, well, it's funny, isn't it? Because Cole Palmer's had a fall off season through injury, and lots of different things have gone wrong for him. I remember when Saka was being compared to Foden, and they said, "Oh, Saka's nowhere near as good as Foden," and they don't do that anymore because Foden's disappeared. And now it's like, well, he's not as good as Cole Palmer, and then he's disappeared. So I think you can look at some of these players as overhyped, but when I look at the Man City squad, even the Man City, even if you took the lineup against Liverpool, right? Just on this basis. They've got Nunez, who's a midfielder playing at right back. They've got Ryan Ait-Nouri, who, okay, he's a left wing back, but he's not played great for them so far. He actually looked all right against Liverpool. I thought it was his best game. Then they've had to go out and buy Guéhi because Gvardiol, who was brilliant, is out, I think, for the rest of the season anyway. They've got a Rodri playing about 60% of what you expect from him. Semenyo looked dog shit against Liverpool. Omar Mamushka, yeah, that's for you, Rosie. He was dreadful. And Erling Haaland came good right at the death. And Bernardo Silva, who I think has been one of their most consistently average players all season. You don't look at that side. All right, they've got Donnarumma in goal, and if they hadn't, it would have been a draw. But you don't look at that side and see fear. You just don't. And when people are saying, they can go on a march, well, Nico Riley. Is that what you're saying? And Nico O'Reilly, he's going to drag you to the title. Who's the player in that team? Haaland. It's Haaland. Haaland is indubitably the best player in his position in the world. I think he is an immense talent for them. He last scored in the Premier League from open play, and everyone's always talking about open play, in December. Was it December? Yeah, 20th of December. So honestly, that doesn't feel to me like that's the Man City side that's going to scare us. And I don't think Pep Guardiola's that bothered either. We've won the league. I'm calling it. It's over. We've won the league. Even if we lose to Brentford, they'll probably have lost to Fulham by then. There's just nothing for anyone to write about, so they're going to have to come up with stuff. You know, they'll talk about us as bottlers if we win the quadruple. But they bottled losing this time. You know, it's just. I think there's a lot of conversation to be had, and it says me bottle is jobbed. It's a 2-game swing, but who's expected it to be 2 games better than us from this point? Very good point. And also, the people who come in here and go, it's only 6 points, go, okay, would you rather be 6 points behind? You know, we're 6 points ahead of the nearest team. That's worth saying. We're more than 6 points ahead of all of the others. That every other team would rather be in our position, and some of our fans will still tell you it's not good enough. Villa, no one really thinks they're winning the league anymore, do they? Man United are 11 points behind us in 4th. And then Liverpool, 17 points behind us. We could lose 6 games in a row and they'd still struggle to overtake us. That's what we're talking about. It's a pretty good season for us. Now, the narrative, at least if the narrative is, oh, Man City are coming good, that's great, because then I don't have to listen to this shit about how people like Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC, go, well, the Premier League shit. It's like, I don't know, man. It's the Premier League. It's the most watched league in the world. It's got some great players in it. Everybody wants to play in the Premier League, and it's shit, apparently. Look at Germany. Like, I've never seen for the one consistent truth about German football for decades was that no German player wanted to play in England. You can't think... Karl-Heinz Rummenigge when he played for Sunderland, right? But that was it. Name another German player. Kai Havertz was an early adopter. He left early. Timo Werner, people like that followed. But Florian Wirtz, let's be honest, Bayern Munich wanted him badly. And he decided to come to England.
He was the German who played for Tottenham with VW Beetle.
Yeah, he lived up my road in Belsize Park. Jürgen Klinsmann.
Yeah, Klinsmann, yeah.
Jürgen the Gym. He's only here for 1 season, so he doesn't count. And he was basically, he just likes travelling. He's a continental drifter. I love Jürgen. He's the only. I actually snuck in. I watched Arsenal play Tottenham at Shite Hart Lane, and I snuck in and watched it in the with the Tottenham fans, and it was horrible. They beat us 1-0, but Jürgen Klinsmann was worth the entry ticket. He was like if you watched one grown up playing 21 other 9-year-olds. He was just so good. He was so good. It was the era of Dimitrescu, Popescu, Klinsmann, Sheringham. They had like 5 attackers on the pitch all going forward at once. Ozzy Ardiles, their manager, can't even say Tottenham. It was a brilliant era but German players didn't come to England. They just didn't. They went to Italy. They might have gone elsewhere, but they didn't come to England. Now they're all starting. Everyone comes here now. Italians didn't come to England. Now they're coming. And apparently because it's the worst league in Europe.
Yeah, but we could only get 5 of our Premier League teams into the top 8 of the Champions League.
Where are the other 5? How many? What's the coefficient going to give us next time? It's just actually, we'll just call it the Premier League, the Champions League, and we'll let Barcelona play. This is a brilliant comment by Carles. Foden always looks like his mum just called him in for dinner. It's exactly what he looks like. I just love that comment. So where are we? Finally, Dan, you called it. What do you mean? What have I done? Finally. Oh, yeah, no, it's done. The league's done. We've won it. It's that awful, please don't fuck up phase. It's like you're watching your horse. The final jump has been cleared and your horse is 2 lengths ahead and you're just thinking, please don't just collapse. Don't have a heart attack. Don't collapse. Don't be a World War III, something like that. You can't get money on Manchester City for all of the hype on YouTube around, oh, they're frightened now. It's like, really? Well, they're betting on Arsenal now. No one's betting on Man City. The odds on Man City are 5-1 at the moment. Go figure that out in a 2-horse race.
No, but your horse, what will happen is that one of the stirrups will fall off just as he's crossing the line, and the steward will say, "No, you've got to have your stirrup."
But hear me out on this one. There is as much chance, I think, of Villa winning the league as there is of Man City. Like, I don't think either of them are doing it. But I don't get the hype around Man City anyway. They concede a goal a game. Excuse me, they concede a goal a game. They concede a goal a game. They concede to everyone. They conceded 2 to Tottenham. Fair enough, they didn't concede to Wolves, but they lost to Man United away. People are forgetting that. That wasn't that long ago. That's less than a month ago. They went to Old Trafford and lost. We lost at home, fair, but we haven't lost to Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. Even though, I mean, yeah, I take your point. It's a shit European trophy when teams like Bodo Glimt can beat, Premier League is fucked. You don't watch Formula One, but it's like having your driver 20 seconds ahead of the nearest challenger. Things could go wrong still, but I'm not the team manager, or I don't know why I should stress about it. Hey, very good point. I love the way you've... Yeah, it's true. You still expect to win, don't you?
I can remember in the Formula One when... Mansell, yeah. Australian Grand Prix, coming towards the camera. Muddley Talker was there. I knew it was Mansell. And as soon as I saw the tar go, I thought, Mansell's out.
And then, surely Nigel Mansell has rounded the corner to win the... Oh, piss.
The only person who didn't know it is Nigel Mansell's car was Murray Walker.
Yeah.
Until it sort of came down there.
He wasn't looking
Murray Walker.
I've never heard him called Muddley Talker, but that is sticky. He's passed now, isn't he, sadly?
Yeah, sadly.
That's when I used to like Formula One. But I remember watching, it's funny because obviously the German-Austrian rivalry in Formula One was pretty intense because they never had any good drivers till Schumacher. And then they had Schumacher. But I remember watching a Formula One race in Austria in summer. It wasn't in Austria, but I was watching it in Austria. And they mentioned Niki Lauda 74 times in the race. And he wasn't even racing. It's like Niki Lauda's such an Austrian hero. And Niki Lauda would have won this, and Niki Lauda would be. It's like it was just. We had Gerd Berger. There were a couple, Ratzenberger, who sadly died the same day as Ayrton Senna, or the day before, and no one ever talks about him. But that's as it is. But we've done our predictions up front. I think Madueke. Did we agree Joker should start, or did we Jesus to start? And I like the idea of Jesus getting involved, but
I'd like to stick Jokeres in, but I can see what Benny was saying about Jokeres, Jesus starting. Sorry, Jesus.
It's Portuguese, so it's Jesus.
Is it? All right.
I find the pronunciations of names is because, I don't know if it's just me, but I tend to listen to how they say it and repeat how they say it. It's just I have a phobia of getting people's names wrong because I think it shows disrespect I'm not intentionally showing. So when somebody says to me, "Oh, hi, my name's Jesus," I go, "Right, remember Jesus." But Victor Jokeres, as we know from the little clip that I play regularly, he's told us how to pronounce it.
What's your full name?
Victor Einar Jokeres.
But you can call me Gackers. So he says Jokeres, right? You will never hear anyone call him Jokeres. It's always Jokeres, Glockeres. I've heard everything. It's like in England, we just don't care. Hi, my name's Dan. Oh, right. Well, Denny, you can sit over there. No one gives a shit. But Sean, my mate who's Spanish, he was like, why is everyone calling him Hubimendi? It's Zubimendi. And it's like, I don't know. But once you hear him say it, that's how I say it.
You should come to Germany if you need names to be butchered.
Yeah, at least they get my name right. My surname is Horfinger, and at least they know how to say that. Even my missus can't say my surname properly. But
sorry, I'm about to head off.
Yeah, I think.
But if you guys can go and watch the Chelsea highlights and look at Palmer's miss, it was shocking today.
I've
He
heard
had
Did
about
he
that.
go high and wide? I might have just caught it.
He was
actually.
in front of goal and he blazed it over the bar with no keeper.
Oh,
It
bring it up.
was. I just watched it now. It was a shocking miss. It was shocking.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a few. Glock 14 is a better way of saying it. Yes, thank you so much for joining us, Benny. Always great to have you on. Last thoughts from you before we call it a night?
Well, I think we should win on. I expect us to win on Thursday. I'm not gonna. If oh, we did our predictions, Rosie. Anyway,
Did you say 3-1 or 3-0?
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah.
I'm predicting our fan base to have a meltdown tomorrow when after Man City win, and for them to complain when we win again on Thursday that the point gap is already only 6 and not 9 for some weird reason. But yeah, I expect I like this. I think this is. Oh no, we still have a game. Our game got rescheduled. Wolves got rescheduled.
Yeah, Wolves
for
is
the
next
after.
week.
Or
It's the only midweek, so we actually it counts as this game week, but it's
or else we would have had the 2 weeks off. So for Spurs. So we get this.
Wolves.
Get this one done. Get the Wigan one out of the way. Let's see some young ones, and then hopefully we get Wolves done, and we're back to our parity, I guess.
A very good point. Well made. The only thing I want to add is we won't be seeing Charles Sago Jr. because he's gone out on loan. So we're running out of players, guys. Bring Nwaneri back.
bring Sterling back.
My
slow
God.
down. Hold that thought, right? We've got Chamberlain before we get to that.
Yeah.
We've got me before we get to that. It's fucking... thanks,
Harry Mananus, someone.
Yeah. Harry Mananus. I mean, I don't even know. A couple of years ago, I was really watching the youth. I thought it was really exciting. I haven't really been. There's a guy who scored the hat trick against Leeds. Jem. I can't remember how to say his name now, but he looks good, obviously.
Or they can get that Scottish kid that they just loaned in. They could get him to start against Wigan if he has anything about him, maybe. But honestly,
I reckon Jesus up front.
Yeah, I think it's Jesus. Jesus will start against Wigan.
Why not, man?
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Maybe Gyökeres get his goal tally up.
Yeah, that can backfire.
Get back to 20. Get into 20.
That can really backfire because when Man City are playing Exeter and you think, yeah, he's played Erling Haaland, and they get 10 goals and he doesn't get a single one of them. You're like, okay, that isn't helping his confidence, is it? But he did so much for the rest of the team. He touched the ball 8 times. Shut up.
I don't even think he got an assist that game either, did he?
I couldn't tell you.
He didn't get anything. He didn't get anything that game.
That's the team that wants to win the Premier League. The world's best striker can't get an assist or a goal, any goal involvement at all against a team that's, to be honest, most of us never really heard of. I didn't know there was a team called Exeter. I believe it.
I did. I went to uni in England, so I know.
Well, you're doing better than me. I don't claim to know anything about it. I know there's a place called Exeter. I'm aware of on the principle that every place has a I'm sure that, but like
I know Dan will know this, but Benny, do you know what Exeter City's football ground's called?
Probably no, I don't. Exeter City Football Ground.
No.
Well, why would I know this? I don't know this.
It's the same as Newcastle, St James's Park.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
I genuinely, I'm not great with anything, right? But like, if you said to me, I believe I'm living in a simulation. I'm 100% convinced of it, right? So when people come up with, you're playing Kairat Almaty, haven't you heard of them? They've been around forever. I go, no, you just made that. This is just made up now, right? This is like when you play Football Manager. After a certain period, they have to generate new players because they've run out of actual players. That's what I think Kairat Almaty is. It's the computer just going. They're a Kazakhstani club. It's on the border of China. I have no idea where.
It's actually called St James Park.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what's funny about the Champions League and the Europa League? I looked at all the teams in the table, and out of all the teams in the Europa League, I knew all of them. I'd heard of all of them. But then Kairat Almaty, I'd never heard of them. I'd really never heard of a Bodo Glimt. And there's another team as
We
well.
played Bodo Glimt and I'd never heard of them. I was at the game. We played Bodo Glimt. I watched us play Bodo Glimt, and then 3 years later, I was like, I've never heard of these people. It's like fucking. It's like the Champions League, isn't it? It's like, it was a Europa League. It was like, well, okay. We played the Irish team, didn't we? We played.
But yeah, we did some Irish. Shamrock Rovers.
Probably.
Shamrock Rovers. Yeah.
I. That's what I mean. Like when people go, "Oh, you don't know this," I go like the shit I don't know fills libraries.
We played FC Cologne once. Actually, they won.
Yeah, and they came with fans. They came with fans.
No, their fans are crazy. No, yeah,
I know. Holloway, yeah,
German fans are
4,000 of them marching in. It was a little bit like shit. You know when they do those, what if the Germans had won the war?
Yeah,
well,
German fans are crazy. Yeah, they are.
Well, I don't think we'll ever compete with them. It's a bit English stiff upper lip. Yes, well, we can cheer, but no. But then I say that I haven't been abroad when the England fans have run rampage. So I do love this comment, by the way, from Boy Tendio. I do agree with you. Simulation theory is lazy. Yes, it is. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with me being lazy about? I just think I live in a simulation. You can't. Of course, you would say I don't. You're part of simulation. He might. All right. What's that? He's all right. I am, however, ready to talk about the Matryoshka brain that would be required to run a simulation of life as we know it. No, you know what? I can get onto this another time because the probability dictates that we are living in a simulation, and nothing proves that more than the fact that we're going to win the league this season. And it's going to be an absolutely glorious parade. There's going to be loads of people will come out and they'll be like, I'm so sorry I doubted you. And we'll throw tomatoes at them and fuck off. And, and Lee Gunner will fly over and say, please forgive me, Arteta. Anyway, Zanzi, your final thoughts, please.
Well, I'm trying to keep the emotion in tonight. It's been a good. It's actually good that I'm awake yesterday for once.
Fucking too, right? Yeah.
I know. Yeah. The chat has been more monumental than I could ever have wished.
Yeah.
And there's only a little bit of mental in it, but and Dan, we're almost twinning.
I know.
I know.
I like it.
I've got to get a flat cap now.
You have, or I could lend you one.
No, I'm good.
No, you'd suit it quite. Or we get you a top hat. I think we'll do for the parade. That's what I'd say.
Like a big red top hat.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about big red top hats, weren't you?
Yeah, I'd say top hat. I mean, big. It would be a top hat size top hat.
Who was talking about big red top hats recently?
I don't know. It's a simulation. You're not real. Everything's made up. I could just be you were talking about it. Perhaps you're having a fever dream. But don't eat so much cheese before bed.
Isn't fever dream a plant?
No, I don't think so.
There was a fever few. That was it.
I think Ian Wright's a plant, a PR plant. I think I might do. Can we just do one night? We're going to have a comedy night. We're doing film nights, we're doing food nights, all of that. Can we have one night where we all just have to slag off Arsenal? We all have to be Gluminati for the night. Then we can. You'll get all these people subscribing, and then the next week they'll be like, "What the fuck happened?" We suddenly all go really cheerful and positive. And
I have to admit, the actual most interesting thing tonight was seeing that Man United fan having the Man City fan having a wank.
How does he? He must realise that's what he's doing, right? Like I was watching it, going, "You're making us look bad. You've been masturbating in the supermarket, you're getting into bed, and your wife's like, "What are you doing?" I bet she did.
Wife?
Yes, he's married and has.
Is
children. I really like. Listen, I might. He is a very good YouTuber, and I really like watching his takes. He knows Man City inside out. He is a little bit over the top, and I will say this in conclusion to a show I've thoroughly enjoyed, but must go to sleep now. But the Manchester City fan that you can sense that they're a little bit worried. They've spent so much of their life not being relevant to football conversations, and so now they're starting to feel like their manager is leaving, their power is waning. They're not imperious. They're not dominating teams. They're losing to teams they shouldn't do. They might not win any silverware for the second year running, and guys like him have gone a little bit manic about it. Oh, we're back. Oh my God, we're back. We beat Liverpool. We won a game. We're back. That's a second game in 7 games we've won. Now we're back. If we can repeat this kind of form, we'll finish second. It's going to be, that's what they're doing. And, oh, look at it. Fucking hell. That is the latest anyone's ever come in. Chris, we're just wrapping up. I'm going to do something as well that I don't usually do. But I'm actually wrapping up without musical video, but with a musical. I created a video, it just didn't upload in time. That's why I was 2 minutes late. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been here. Absolutely love coming into the pub and meeting you guys for conversation. Thank you. I hope to see you all on Thursday evening after a victory. But if it is a defeat, let's be grown up about it, and let's analyse and keep each other on a straight and narrow, because we do have a 6-point buffer for a reason. So, with that, I will depart, leaving you with my song I wrote very hastily. It's the format is new for me, so I don't really understand the format, but it just seemed to work. So until I see you again, be lucky. Lots of love. Bye. See ya. Well, I have to cover this up and then play some music. You can all just drift off as you wish. Don't make too much noise as you leave. Be considerate of the neighbours.
Yeah, don't take glasses either.
Slipping through your hands. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered, everybody knows. Tottenham get battered even when they stay home. They get battered everywhere they go. Coach pulls up, same sad song. Hope kicks off, then it all goes wrong. 3-0 down by 44. Fans start streaming back to the door. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered, everybody knows. Tottenham get battered even when they stay home. They get battered everywhere they go. New big talk, same old fall. Glossy crest on a cracked up wall. Dreams sold out on the club shop floor. Every season, maybe 1 year more. Tottenham